Is there any gain? Su Lin didn't think much about it and immediately opened the private message. The first four big words instantly caught his attention. Boss, help. Chapter 215. Natasha asks for help. Kui Jingya is possessed. Your friend Natasha sent you a private message. The system prompt broke the silence at this moment. Natasha. Su Lin didn't think much about it and opened the private message. The first two big words instantly caught Su Lin's attention. Help. When Su Lin saw the message, he was stunned at first, and Sophia, who was standing next to him, also stood by and looked at the private message with Su Lin. Natasha from the northern ice sand country. Speaking of which, it has been some time since they last saw each other. In the letter, Natasha did not hesitate at all, and every word was filled with a plea for help. After reading the letter, Sophia frowned slightly. It turned out that they were living in peace in the tropical rainforest in the southwest area of the copy. During the exploration, she and Ali even met a female player from South Korea and her partner. They were also very friendly to Natasha and Ali. So based on the principle that more people meant more strength, Natasha and the others decided to team up with this female player. What they didn't expect was that, after defeating the mini-boss of the hidden dungeon in the rainforest, Kui Jingya and her friends actually took advantage of their misfortune and turned to attack them. Extremely urgent. But at this moment, Su Lin and the others had already arrived deep into the Paradise Palace. According to Natasha's information, they were currently at the other end of the random room. Even if Su Lin turned into undead again and rushed over with all his strength, it would be of no avail. Tip: Lord tokens are rewards for domain copies, allowing players to move freely in most areas of this copy. The message from the system at this time caught Su Lin's attention. Is it so humane that there are such prompts? Su Lin took out the Lord token from the storage ring again. Because he was busy meeting up with Sophia and the others, there were several hints on the token, and Su Lin put it in his pocket in a hurry without having time to read it clearly. If that's the case, maybe we can teleport directly there. Su Linru thought so. Su Lin took out the token, looked at the prompts, and imagined the scene in his mind. At this moment, a huge magic circle suddenly appeared out of thin air on the ground and surrounded Su Lin and others. When Su Lin finished chanting, the magic circle and Su Lin and the others suddenly disappeared from the spot, leaving only a few footprints to prove that someone had been here before. In just a moment, Su Lin and others came to the fishing village again, where traces of Su Lin and others' previous battle still remained. But the farthest distance is only to the fishing village, and it is not enough to reach the outer areas farther away. It seems that we have to hurry the rest of the way. Yan Country's live broadcast channel. The audience also watched the private messages on the big screen. Kui Jingya. At this moment, some barrage of comments floated out. Isn't her partner a Shemil? When did he turn into a giant lizard? The one above is a humanoid. They can be male or female. That shouldn't be a giant lizard. Could it be possible that humanoids can transform into other species? Then can. Obscene smile. Don't make wild guesses. They just opened another wedding room. But the letter only mentions one partner. What about the humanoid? Could it be that they are female and the one is pregnant and recuperating at home? No, this giant lizard tribe always feels familiar to me. Go watch the live broadcast replay from South Korea. Something big has happened. As the camera turned, many viewers turned to South Korea. You wouldn't know until you see it, but the person Choi Kyung-ya arranged a wedding room for was actually her third sister-in-law. This is really fate. I still remember the last time Moses said goodbye to Su Lin. She was expecting someone like Su Lin to marry her, but when she opened the door, it turned out to be a woman. It seems that the awakening of Korean women has shaken the system, and Choi Kyung-ya was directly assigned the female race. As the scene kept changing, Kui Jingya was still disgusted at first. But in her opinion, compared with the men in their country, the third sister-in-law of the giant lizard tribe, Mozai, was actually very pleasing to the eye. But Kui Jingya still liked to take the humanoid with him, and for this reason, she gave him a name, Kui Beaju. And as Kui Beaju gets along with Kui Jingya, she becomes more and more like Kui Jingya, like a mirror standing between them. Even when Kui Jingya was in love with her partner, she was still very happy in her heart. Kui Beaju never expected the tragedy that would follow. In a subsequent random room, Kui Beaju actually sent Mozai away, and in an empty corner his face was torn apart and turned into a ferocious beast. The mouth was torn open all the way to the ears, and densely packed fangs occupied the entire mouth. Before Kui Jingya could react, Kui Jingya rolled her eyes and her soul was absorbed by Kui Beaju. Kui Beaju took the opportunity to take over Kui Jingya's body and merge with her. No wonder the humanoids can change into gender anytime and anywhere, and they look more and more like Kui Jingya. This must be one of the reasons. The Korean audience was also terrified when watching the scene, but they could do nothing as Choi Kyung-ya died in front of them. Kui Jingya is dead, and the system is about to bring down punishment again. This is what Korean audiences are thinking now. I didn't expect that some people would break down and start swearing collectively in the barrage. I didn't expect that in just a moment, they would start indiscriminate quarrels between men and women. After a while, the expected system punishment did not come, and the quarreling voices in the barrage gradually decreased. The system did not impose any punishment. It seems that Choi Beaju's possession of Choi Jingya has no impact on the progress of the game. The girls in South Korea all breathed a sigh of relief. After all, they were the ones enjoying the benefits. If the reward was taken back, they would absolutely disagree. Kui Beaju brought Kui Jingya's body to reunite with Mo Zai, and on the way before the reunion, he laughed creepily from time to time. On the way, Kui Beaju also did her homework. She cut open Kui Jingya's body, and trickles of blood oozed out from the skin and seeped into the clothes. She also fell down, and her body was bruised all over, as if she had just experienced a very brutal battle. After Kui Beaju reunited with her third sister-in-law, she lied to Mo Zai that the humanoid Kui Beaju had unfortunately sacrificed himself to protect herself. Kui Beaju also showed his superb acting skills to the audience. He lied without blushing while tears as big as pearls fell from his eyes. He hugged Mo Zai and cried, "Best actor." After this incident, the Korean audience seemed to act as if nothing had happened. Kui Beaju has already replaced Kui Jingya. Even though the audience knows the truth in their eyes, as long as the system does not take back the reward and does not impose punishment, it is good news. Anyway, for an extreme female boxer like Choi Kyung-ah, the male people in South Korea wish she would die soon. Tropical rainforest. Natasha looked at Ali, who was seriously injured in front of her, and felt extremely guilty. During this period, Ali has always given Natasha a very reliable sense of security. Ali always thought about himself. When facing the giant snake, he tried his best to cover Natasha with his body to prevent her from getting hurt. He gave himself the most vulnerable back, but it was also because of him that Ali suffered the most serious injury. Chapter 216. Return to the spiritual pawnshop to pawn future offspring. At this moment, they were in a cave. Natasha never expected Kui Jingya to launch a direct sneak attack. Kui Jingya's originally harmless face and their similar levels. And when they were together, she was very careful to remind Natasha of the traps, and won Natasha's trust at the first sight. Just now, when I killed the small boss in the hidden copy, Kui Jingya suddenly became ruthless, and the unexpected force hit her quickly. Ali was the first to feel the fist behind him, and he turned around and protected Natasha in front of him. Bang! A dull voice came to Natasha's ears, and Ali's hair from the Snow Ape tribe also stirred up waves and flew in the air. Ali endured the pain, took advantage of the momentum, and jumped away quickly from everyone's sight. As Natasha was being carried away by Ali, the snow-white hair on Ali's chest quickly turned red at a speed visible to the naked eye. As Ali moved at such a high speed, her body was pressed tightly against his. A smell of blood slowly swept over Natasha's nose. In order to protect himself, Ali had a big hole in his chest, and blood was flowing out uncontrollably due to the constant movement. As Ali felt more and more exhausted, they finally found a cave. He put Natasha down and used his last bit of strength to seal the entrance of the cave with ice magic to protect her. Time passes by every second. Natasha looked at Ali, who was about to die, tears welling up in her eyes. Her nose felt sore, but she could only hold Ali's hand tightly as it gradually lost its temperature. Natasha just sent a private message to Su Lin. At this moment, she could think of that only Su Lin and his friends could save them. But they gave up at the critical moment for Su Lin. They did not face the danger with Su Lin at that time. Will Su Lin hold a grudge? Natasha thought so. But at this moment, Natasha could no longer think of another person who could help her. Ali had always told her that the only person she could rely on was herself. But when I really have to rely on myself, I have no idea what to do. At this time, Ali seemed to realize something and held Natasha's hand. Drops of vermilion fell from the corners of his mouth, slowly dripping down, as if reaching the bottom of Natasha's heart. Following the blood trail and with the help of Mo Zai, the third sister-in-law of the giant lizard clan, Kui Beaju found their hiding place effortlessly. Mosai puffed out his chest and followed Kui Beaju beside him. At this moment, they were like lambs in a cage, and the humanoids, their state after taking over Kui Jingya's body, couldn't help but sneer. The ice magic shield in front of them only added a few minutes to their survival time. Kui Beaju turned to look at Mosai, signaling Mosai to kill them. Mosai felt contempt in his heart. Although the partner in front of her was of a lower level than her, Mosai did like him much better than the previous one. However, even if he was as strong as Su Lin, this kind of method would not make Mosai look good. But after all, he is her partner, so she would not have any thoughts of disobeying him. However, her reluctance in her heart still showed in her body. Mosai raised his head, said nothing, and rubbed his fingers slowly and moved forward slowly. Natasha at this time, even though she felt extremely unwilling and guilty, she could do nothing at the moment. If I were strong enough, maybe this wouldn't happen. Natasha blamed herself so deeply that she didn't notice that the word spirit was slowly appearing on her wrist. As the word Ling on the wrist becomes more and more obvious, suddenly there was a flash of bright light. Wow! The light quickly enveloped Natasha, and in an instant Natasha lost consciousness. When Natasha opened her eyes, what she saw was an ancient building with ghostly lights and shadows looming on the lanterns. The plaque on the gate had 4 familiar words on it that shocked Natasha. Ghost Pawn Shop. Here again. The invitation letter was clearly destroyed, so how could it be? I don't know when. The maid Xiao Yao appeared in front of me again. Guest, you are here. The charming appearance and seductive voice once again guided Natasha into the pawn shop. Natasha followed the little demon into it unknowingly. When she finally came to her senses and found herself entering into it, her eyes were full of surprise. Weird, a ghost pawn shop. I remember that Ali destroyed the invitation letter. What happened? Natasha looked around. Everything around her was so mysterious and familiar. Before she opened her mouth, the little demon in front of her spoke first. The sound of the silver bell came again. We meet again, Tilda. As if knowing her thoughts in advance, Xiao Yao slowly gave the answer. The spiritual pawn shop sensed your strong desire and guided you in. Xiao Yao's tone was still as enthusiastic as before. It was the living room again at the side door. Boss Han was already sitting on the rosewood chair. He glanced at Natasha with an evil look, and then he sipped the tea in his hand carefully. I wonder what happened to the guest this time. Boss Han walked slowly, as if he knew in advance that they would meet again, and his every move exuded great charm. Natasha did not hide her thoughts at this moment. Now that she was here, she had no other choice. We are in some danger. My man Ali, I want to save Ali's life, no matter what the cost. Natasha was straightforward and shouted it out without caring about her image. I'll give it to you even if it costs you my life. After hearing this, a playful smile slowly appeared on Boss Han's face. He slowly put down the teacup in his hand. No problem. After a moment, he stood in front of Natasha, staring at her intently. Natasha's eyes were like a fox staring at its prey that it had not seen for a long time. His eyes were full of confidence. Natasha seemed to have figured something out at this moment. She met Boss Han's gaze without fear. Unexpectedly, this caused Boss Han to laugh. Boss Han continued with a smile. Sir, this is a pawn shop, not a butcher. Natasha was also a little annoyed, and her face gradually turned red. What on earth do you want? Seeing Natasha's determined expression at the moment, Boss Han stopped beating around the bush. The slender finger pointed at Natasha. Then he slowly pointed to Natasha's lower abdomen. How about using your child in exchange? Natasha was very puzzled. My child. How could she have a child at this moment when she and Ali had only been married for a short time? Natasha herself couldn't believe it. She wasn't pregnant at all. Boss Han seemed to see her doubts and said, the snow ape people are still alive, so it won't be a life-for-life situation. So you can just trade your future children for one, a future life for a dying life. What do you think of this deal, customers? Boss Han had that evil look in his eyes again. Natasha couldn't go anywhere at this moment, but at this moment she had no choice. Kui Beaju and the others were approaching, and it was only a matter of time before they broke through the ice defense shield. Even if Su Lin flew over, he would not be able to make it in time. How about signing it? Chapter 217. The humanoids who occupy the magpie's nest. Perhaps it was Boss Han's eyes, as deep as the night, that were so captivating that Natasha could not forget them. This undercurrent echoed in Natasha's mind, making her shudder. She knew very well that Ali's life was in danger at this moment, and she was the only one who could save the person she loved deeply. But If Ali knew that he was using his future child as collateral, he would definitely not agree. But what should Ali do? Am I just going to watch him die? Natasha's eyes showed a little more determination. Boss Hand saw this and couldn't help but raised the corners of his mouth into a sly smile. At this moment, the charming little demon took out a piece of parchment. It turned out to be a contract. The densely packed words on the contract were twisted and swirled, making it dizzying to read, and it clearly stated the content of the transaction between the two parties. The terms were simple, except this time. The collateral for the transaction became Natasha's future child. "Please sign your name here," Xiao Yao said softly again. Natasha was stunned, and her hand holding the quill was shaking. "It's different from the last time, when I got 2 pieces of excellent equipment for free. After all, this was the first deal in her life. She wanted to stop many times, but when she thought of Ali, Natasha gritted her teeth and finally signed her name resolutely. Book of contract, both parties involved in the transaction, Spirit Pawnshop and Natasha. The contract has been confirmed and established. As Natasha's pen fell, the contract instantly flashed with a unique glow, and this time the brightness was even stronger than before. Boss Hand smiled and nodded, then raised his hand and the signed contract floated towards him as if it had life. He put it in his pocket skillfully, with a sly smile on his face. Then Boss Hand appeared with a pill in his hand, as if by magic. This pill is mysterious and alluring, exuding a faint sandalwood scent. The patterns on it are like stars carved in the night, mysterious and fascinating. Name: Change Elixir. Quality: characteristic. What Natasha didn't expect was that, although the system's voice popped up, she couldn't see any attributes at all. "Let your beloved husband take this pill, and his life will be prolonged." Boss Hand smiled mysteriously. He spread out his hands, and the pill was like a twinkling star, placed in Natasha's palm. "It's a pleasure working with you." He extended his hand to Natasha. Natasha hesitated for a moment, but finally extended her hand and shook his. What? Natasha's sudden disappearance. Ali, who was seriously injured and about to fall asleep, was extremely anxious. He tried to stay awake and was extremely worried. Now the Korean players have arrived in front of the cave. Ali endured the pain and tried to stand up desperately, but he was powerless. If he hadn't been ambushed just now, he might have been able to fight these 2 people. At least, he should have been able to escape with Natasha. But after a while, Natasha returned to the cave. "Natasha, you..." Ali from the Snow Ape tribe had a look of confusion in his eyes. Natasha felt something strange in her hand. A dark pill lay in the palm of his hand. Natasha was skeptical. Although all this was true, she did listen to Ali's advice. Although the businessman had helped them before, the invitation letter was clearly destroyed. Now I have found it in myself, which can be said to be impure intentions. Once you take this step, there may be no turning back. Natasha looked at the seriously injured Ali. "Come, eat it," Natasha said in an affectionate tone, with concealed pain in her expression. Ali subconsciously felt something was wrong, because at this moment, Natasha felt an indescribable feeling coming from her. But he did not refuse. They were at the end of their rope and had no choice at the moment. The moment he swallowed the pill, an inexplicable force immediately surrounded him and penetrated into his body. Ali's injuries were healed instantly in just one encounter, and the huge amount of spiritual energy continued to fill Ali's body, lingering for a long time. At this time, Ali's spiritual energy was surging. Not only did his wounds heal, but his level also showed signs of rising. Natasha was also surprised. Seeing Ali, who had recovered and reached the peak of sea level, she gradually felt relieved. However, the guilt also planted a seed in her heart. What? Such a strong fluctuation. At this moment, Kui Beaju and Mozai outside the cave were also surprised. When Kui Beaju and the others arrived here, the Snow Ape already looked like it was about to die. But after just a brief encounter, Ali in the cave suddenly recovered, and his strength increased rapidly. Kui Beaju didn't take Mozai's hesitation just now to heart. After all, he was a lamb to be slaughtered, so there was no need to be so anxious. But this lamb to be slaughtered suddenly came back to life. Kui Beaju thought to herself that this was not good. At this moment, Ali has reached the peak of Class C if they face off head-on. Kui Beaju may not be able to reap the benefits. He glared at Mozai fiercely, but Mozai just looked indifferent. Bang! The ice in front of the cave was shattered by Ali's punch. As the shock wave came, arm-sized pieces of ice also flew directly to Kui Beaju and the others. The broken ice was too dense, and they did not dare to take it head-on. They could only dodge and retreat to the outside of the cave. "Die!" Ali let out a shocking roar. Skill Ice Storm. Ali had no intention of holding back. At this moment, he only wanted to kill these two people who were taking advantage of his misfortune. His eyes gradually turned red, and Natasha beside him couldn't help but feel a little scared of Ali now. Call. There was a whistling sound of wind, and just at this moment, Su Lin and others happened to arrive. Just happened to see Ali's fierce offensive and fighting posture. Fortunately, according to the hint, the fishing village is not far from the hidden copy of the tropical rainforest here. Following the trail, we arrived directly at Natasha's side. Natasha and the others also noticed Su Lin standing aside. Third sister-in-law. He noticed that the partner of the Korean player was a giant lizard. Su Lin didn't expect to see her again after such a long time. When he thought of the parting scene at that time, Su Lin actually felt a little stomachache. The system prompt appeared in front of Su Lin. Su Lin didn't look at his third sister-in-law for long. After all, the third sister-in-law had left a deep impression on Su Lin the last time they met. But at this moment, Su Lin's eyes were fixed on the other Kui Beaju. Name Choi Kyung-ah. Race humanoid. Strength C. Humanoids? Didn't Natasha say in her private message just now that he was from South Korea? How can you say he shouldn't be a human being? Kui Beaju in front of him aroused Su Lin's strong curiosity. Hiss. Kui Beaju felt that the situation was not right. She couldn't even tell the strength of the person in front of her. Subconsciously, she turned around and used her skills to prepare to slip away. But before he took half a step, Su Lin quickly displayed his light pattern wings. You can't get away. He stood directly in front of Kui Beaju, and before the first round, Su Lin had captured Kui Beaju and made her unable to move. When the third sister-in-law Mozai saw Su Lin subdued her partner in an instant, she was not angry, but a little crazy, thinking to herself, he is worthy of being the man I like. Su Lin, who was standing by, saw that Mozai had no intention of resisting. I don't know what my third sister-in-law is thinking. He avoided her gaze and turned to study Kui Beaju. Natasha and the others on the side saw Su Lin arrive and subdued Kui Beaju in no time. Ali gradually stopped the flow of spiritual power and took Natasha towards Su Lin. Hint, the player Kui Jingya has died, and her partner, the humanoid Kui Beaju, has taken over Kui Jingya's body. Following the prompts of the Golden Finger, the information and abilities of the humanoids gradually emerged. Chapter 218, The Perfect Container for the Mind Corruptor. With the power of the Golden Finger, Su Lin knew the ins and outs of everything. The prompt also shows that this humanoid in front of him can not only change his own gender, but also has an ability similar to taking over another person's body. According to the description provided by Goldfinger, the characteristics of this type of human race, whether by chance or fate, perfectly match the container requirements required by the Red Queen. And it's a living thing. It is just right for Su Lin to use. Perfect container. It seems that you are my destiny, laughs. The scene changed. Su Lin turned his head and looked at Natasha. Ali of the Snow Ape tribe no longer had any wounds on his body. Only his hair was stained with a little red, indicating the signs of the battle just now. Moreover, at this moment, Ali's complexion was still good. The spiritual power in his body was surging, and there was a faint trend of promotion. This is different from what Natasha sent me in private message. Wasn't it said that his life was in imminent danger? But it looked to me like he only had some minor injuries at most, and it seemed like Alishang could still fight. Su Lin didn't say it, but pointed at Ali implicitly. This is... Natasha was shocked and remained silent for a while. She still decided to tell the truth. After all, Su Lin came to her help from thousands of miles away, so she owed him a favor. Besides, Ali will definitely ask about what happened today. Instead of procrastinating any longer, it is better to just say it out loud. But if I had known that Su Lin would be able to come so soon, why would I agree to the deal with Boss Han? But the matter is done, and it's too late to say anything now. I didn't lie to you. Ali was really seriously injured just now. It was in a random room we went to before, the place called Linghuan Pawn Shop. Hearing this, Ali looked shocked. No wonder he felt a strange aura from Natasha at that time. It turned out that he was back to that place. It seems that Natasha has already been noticed by that person. Even though she destroyed the invitation letter, she still got the chance. There was a strong look of worry on Ali's face. What kind of thing can make a person recover instantly? And as his ability increases, he will be promoted to C+. If such an elixir really existed in the world, its grade would be comparable to epic level or even higher. And the price of exchanging it is definitely not cheap. Ali was afraid that Natasha would do something stupid, something that would cost her life. He had warned Natasha before, but then he thought, in that split second, Natasha probably had no way to deal with it. Thinking of this, Ali felt mixed emotions. On the one hand, deep self-blame. He wanted to say something, but it seemed like something was stuck in his throat. He made a dull sound and fell silent. Seeing that Su Lin didn't move, Natasha thought he didn't believe her. Just as Natasha wanted to continue explaining, Su Lin said softly, "I know that place. I went there before when the random rooms were updated. You made a deal with that boss, right?" Natasha nodded. Seeing that they all looked a little solemn, Su Lin guessed that the price of this transaction was not so easy. I secretly thought that Natasha might never escape from the spirit pawn shop. The system had previously prompted that people who traded with it would be gradually dominated by desire and eventually pawn their own souls. Thinking of this, Su Lin secretly felt a little pity for Natasha. But he was not the kind of person who meddles in other people's business, and he did not ask about the content of the transaction. The topic ended here in silence. Judging from the current situation, Natasha and the others are out of danger. After defeating the boss of the hidden copy, I obtained the Lord token of the tropical rainforest in the southwest corner of the outer periphery of this pure land, which is also of rare blue superior grade. The harvest is not small, which is good news for them. Now, what Su Lin cares about most is Kui Beiju in front of him. If we bring him back and let the Red Queen study him, maybe he can not only solve the problem of the alien matrix, but also adapt to the strange hair of the Red Queen. And judging from the prompts, this thing is very good at controlling people's emotions, and it perfectly meets the requirements of the container. The northeast corner of the pure land of bliss. Hulk Hogan was breathing heavily, and Singh and others beside him had some dust and wounds on their faces. As they went deeper into the Pyramid Beta, the monsters they encountered became more and more numerous. There are even hidden mechanisms inside the pyramid. Just now, Edge accidentally moved the bricks on the wall, and a huge axe fell from the sky and passed directly over Singer's head. Fortunately, he reacted quickly and only suffered a scratch on his face. But this also made them all break out in cold sweats. There were so many traps that no one knew what was waiting for them next. Their team had a clear division of labor, allowing them to explore while maintaining safety. As the highest-level member of the team, Hook and Sarona act as the main force. The ability of the Thorn plant system can better explore the front line. Singer and Edge were paying attention to the rooms and movements next to them to avoid sneak attacks from other monsters. Although they looked a little embarrassed at the moment, the monsters they came to the pyramid to kill were at least C-level in strength, and the system's prompts showed that the boss had the peak strength of C+ level. It is still quite difficult for their team whose average strength is only C-level. As they gradually went deeper into the pyramid, the originally narrow corridor suddenly became wide. The huge tomb chamber in front of us is located in the center of the pyramid, and various distorted words and symbols are engraved on the surrounding huge stone pillars. A golden frame covers the entire wall of the mural. In front of them, there was a long bridge made of stone bricks, and beneath the bridge was a sea of corpses filled with bones. The huge smell of blood caused everyone to retch. In front of me was a huge disc lying in the center of the tomb. Just when everyone was about to go and find out what was going on, the system's virtual panel appears in everyone's field of vision. Name Pharaoh Crazy Snake. Strength level C+. Everyone was shocked. They didn't expect that the huge disc was actually a giant snake. But it was too late. The giant snake has awakened, and the disc is spinning rapidly. In an instant, the mad snake's head is directly on the top of the pyramid, and its bloodthirsty eyes are looking down at all of them. Hook and her partner, the Thorn Demon Sarona, took the lead in attacking. They both released thorn vines to block his movements and continuously absorbed life energy to weaken his strength. They cooperated very well. Singh and his alien cockroach mate were not idle at this moment. They already had medium C-level strength and could still fight back against the attack. If the long bridge had not restricted their movements, Singh and others would have been even more powerful. Devil Mantis Thorn. Singh seized the opportunity, and the alien cockroach also cooperated with Singh, pulling him into the air and tearing the snake's skin frantically with its sharp claws. The pharaoh snake kept screaming, and 2 fists were no match for 4 hands. At this moment, it had no room for maneuver. The D+ level Edge wanted to give the crazy snake eyes a blow. Unexpectedly, this attack completely enraged it. It swung its body wildly, broke free from the restraints with a desperate move, and headed straight for Edge. If it weren't for his partner Alyosha's quick eyes and hands, Aggie would have become food in the crazy snake's belly. Seeing the vine break free, Hook quickly jumped into the air, gathered all the magic elements in his hands, and punched the mad snake's head. The huge smoke and dust dissipated, revealing a large hole on the head of the mad snake. Looking at the dying desert snake, everyone finally breathed a sigh of relief. As the giant snake's body continued to turn into a circle of white light, the dungeon rewards also appeared before them. Rare Lord Token. There are also some pills, equipment, and the like. After a discussion, they finally distributed the rewards fairly. As Hook and his team are the main force of the team, the Lord Token should belong to them. Some of the rare and inferior weapons they obtained from the copy were given to Sing. In the end, Hook couldn't stand Edge's D+ level strength anymore, so he gave the pill he had just obtained to Edge, asking him to swallow it and break through earlier. Otherwise, with this strength, he would only hold back the team. Chapter 219 Internal Strife among players from the 5 countries of Vomit Continent, the southeast corner of the pure land of bliss. The 5-nation team consisting of England, Germany, Gaul, France, Balen, and Switzerland also came to the hidden copy. After killing some monsters, they also faced the boss. It is not known whether it is the system's favor or just luck that fools have good fortune, but the copy they encountered this time was much lower level than Su Lin and Hook's, only of medium strength of sea level. However, among these 5-nation teams, the players of England, Gaul, and Germany have just broken through the sea level, while the players and partners of Balen and Ruishi are currently only at D+ level. Although both of them were only one step away from sea level, the difference in strength between the two, separated by a layer of sandpaper, was huge, and they were still not enough to fight against a sea-level monster. In general, it still takes some effort to win the dungeon. After a while, the boss battle was finally won. As the system's voice sounded, a Lord Token was also displayed in front of everyone. It was also of rare quality, but perhaps due to the difficulty of the dungeon, they only got a medium quality token. Even so, it was enough to make the players from the 5 European countries exclaim in surprise. However, there is only one token but 5 players. How to distribute it became a difficult problem between them. At this moment in the real world, the live broadcasts of 5 European countries are also arguing over this. Previously, when many players went to watch Yan Guo's live broadcast, they understood the benefits that a Lord Token could bring. It's not just about upgrading your home. It can even affect the country's defense issues in reality. Therefore, in the real world, the conflicts among players have subtly become a political issue. This time, it is no longer just a war of words between citizens of different countries, hurling insults at each other on live broadcast. This fight may even affect the country's status in Europe, and has already risen to the level of mutual countries. If any country can obtain this token, according to the system, the country's national defense strength can also be raised to a higher level. I think we can speak with strength. The German player took the lead. He and his partner already had C strength. Among all the people present, not many could fight against them. If they cooperated well, they would definitely get the token. Okay, the English player was not to be outdone, and glared back at the German player as he said this. As they came here, the German players seemed to have a natural sense of superiority. No matter what, they thought they were the leaders of their team. The English players had long disliked the German players, and since he had brought it up, they thought of teaching him a lesson. Seeing that the atmosphere was gradually becoming more tense, the Ruishi player also acted as a peacemaker. Player Balen also slowly put forward his opinions, but he seemed to have the lowest presence in the team, and no one even looked at him. Get out of the way! The English player didn't listen to the Swiss player's words. Instead, he just shook his head and started fighting with the German player. As the saying goes, a weak country has no diplomacy. This sentence is also applicable to them. No one wants to listen to someone who has no strength, and they are not worthy of sharing this cake. Seeing that he could not gain any benefit, the Ruishi player thought of taking it away secretly while they were fighting. But when he turned around, the token was gone. Looking along the road, the Gaul player has already taken the token, and is ready to teleport away with his partner. Fuck! Everyone came to their senses after hearing the Swiss player's movement, and the English player even uttered a swear word. But by the time they reacted, it was too late. The Gaul player and his partner disappeared from everyone's sight as the magic circle lit up. This operation also opened the eyes of audiences around the world. Logically speaking, if the Gaul players compete on equal terms, they should still have a chance to get the token. But he found another way and took the token away. The number of people in Gall's live broadcast room has unexpectedly reached a historical high. A closer look reveals that it is full of insults from various countries in Europe, all blaming Gall, and some people even directly attack all the residents of Gall. Following Gall's actions, some parts of England even held protest marches with the aim of refusing to use Gall's products. Some countries even denounced Gall and the alliance, trying to create as much public pressure as possible. In fact, even if it was not Gall that took the token in the end, but some other country, there would always be a group of people who were dissatisfied and would condemn it, because they were not the ones who got it and benefited from it. However, the act of the Gallic player stealing the token gave them sufficient reason to condemn it. Sometimes the struggles between countries are just selfish desires hidden under hypocritical packaging. This trending search also topped the global rankings, sparking a heated discussion. The other onlookers also sighed. What? Time flies. Now is the last night that the Pure Land dungeon room is open. On the other side, Hook Hogan and others also received system prompts when Su Linmi killed the island owner. Clear the random room in the Pure Land of Bliss. The island immortal has perished. Hooker, Edge, Singh, and others also reap their respective benefits. Their team is the most harmonious one in all the copies. After a brief farewell, they all left the random room. But some countries did not have it so easy. Not only did they not get any benefits, they even unfortunately died in some corner of the map. The notice of system punishment also ruthlessly fell on the real country. The audience saw various dramatic scenes in this random room, and some people felt it was a pity after seeing it. But the happiest and the ones who gained the most were the players from Yan country. Some comments drifted slowly by. God Su is my God. This is Su Lin. As the random room was about to end, I said goodbye to Albert and Natasha. A familiar voice was heard, causing Su Lin's hair to stand on end. You took someone's partner away again. You made me a widow twice, can you bear it? Mozai looked at Su Lin with affection. This was also the person who gave Su Lin the most headaches. To be honest, I did snatch Kui Beaju away from her. But didn't you spit your first partner to death? Su Lin suppressed his anger, and once again politely rejected Mozai's request for marriage. And Mozai also pretended to be distressed, as if crying. Zai Lei was still talking nonsense crazily on the side. Go ahead, you've already shot at your puppet, so what if you taken another giant lizard? Banged. Su Lin couldn't bear it any longer and slapped Zai Lei on the butt. The blow hurt Zai Lei. Although they are so destined to be together, he still doesn't want to continue the separation. Chapter 220. I haven't seen you for a few days, I miss you so much. Su Lin turned around and stopped wasting time with Mozai. After a brief farewell, he reunited with Sophia and the others. Sophia couldn't help but laugh when she saw Su Lin's frown. What a beast! You're squeezing me so hard, do you know how to be gentle with me? The small telegraph machine next to it covered its bottom and kept sending messages to Su Lin with tears in its eyes. Like Xiang, cherish you. After hearing what Zai Lei said, Su Lin was so angry that he almost laughed. I thought your attitude had improved a while ago, but it turns out you're still like this. You little monster are really not trying to make me laugh. You spend all day either scolding me, ordering me around, or abusing me. If I get Yu disease someday and commit suicide, you will no longer have a helper as good as me. Okay, you want to play this way, right? Oops, I was wrong, don't hit me. You need one for me to see, come on. Su Lin then taught by example and patiently, and gently educated the little telegraph machine. When Sophia saw Su Lin bullying Zai Lei, she unconsciously brought Zai Lei's identity into herself, and her face gradually flushed. Hit her, look how envious she is. Zai Lei pointed at Sophia, who was standing beside him. Sophia's face turned even redder, and she denied it hastily. After a while, Su Lin and Sophia cleaned up the supplies. Zai Lei, who was standing by, was so angry that he could only take it out on Kui Beaju and bully him from the side. Su Lin then used the teleportation mark to prepare to return home. As the effect of the teleportation mark unfolded, there was a flash of light, and everyone was enveloped in a dazzling magic circle. After the 30-second chanting time was over, everyone disappeared. When he came to the Red Maple Villa again, Su Lin felt unprecedentedly relaxed. The sky is also full of stars at this time. With the faint fragrance of flowers around the spiritual field, everything is quiet, with only the pure white sound of nature. When Ellie heard the noise outside, she jumped out like a child and hugged Su Lin directly. Su Lin was also flattered. I'm dying. Are you going to murder your husband? Ellie puffed her lips and pretended to be angry. No way. If you hadn't come back, Mirabelle and I would have almost thought that something had happened to you. Su Lin slowly put Ellie down and saw that she looked so lively and didn't seem to be pregnant at all. As she spoke, Ellie's ears moved cutely. How can you talk like that? Are you hoping that something bad will happen to me so that you will be widows? After saying that, he even stretched out his dirty hands and pinched Ellie's back. Zai Lei, on the other hand, looked at Su Lin with disdain and shook his head. He was about to say something back to Su Lin, but then he remembered that his butt was still aching, so he shut his mouth and went straight home. Have you gained weight again? Su Lin, try getting pregnant. All right, all right. Su Lin joked, gently stroking Ellie's head. Mirabelle also slowly walked out at this time. I remember that Mirabelle had recovered a lot before leaving, but now she still looked like a girl. I guess she must have put some effort into taking care of the spiritual field while I was away. Thinking of this moment, Su Lin actually felt a warm feeling. Before in the real world, Su Lin was just a half otaku. Although his parents were very good to him at this moment, the feeling of home here became stronger. After a brief greeting, Su Lin took them back home. The system voice sounded again. Su Lin looked carefully and found it was a private message from Albert. It turned out that Albert was not idle after he separated from Su Lin and the others. Although the Pure Land dungeon has been almost fully explored by players, but Albert adhered to the principle of cherishing the place since he was here, and took Gaba with him to explore this place. As a result, a hidden copy was really found, and that copy was quite difficult for Albert. Finally, I got a rare and superior Lord token. After simply expressing my gratitude again, the private message ended here. Su Lin shut down the system. It seems that after this experience, most players around the world have a Lord token. The era of the homeland has ended, and the era of the Lords is about to begin. What are you thinking about? Mirabelle's voice was like a silver bell. Although she currently had the appearance of a young girl, her every move revealed an indescribable maturity. It's okay, just a private message from a friend. Okay, Mirabelle curled her lips as if she had something to say. Why, I missed you so much after not seeing you for 3 days. Su Lin hugged Mirabelle with a sly smile on his face. What are you thinking about? Mirabelle said angrily, but she seemed to be reluctant. Oh yeah, how's Xioxian? Very good. Her father has been flirting with other women all day long. I don't know if he has forgotten about her and her daughter. The fairy is still in the fruit form of the fairy flower at this time, but with Mirabelle's daily care, it has matured a lot now and may be able to be born in a few days. I've worked very hard too. I've been struggling for 3 days and 3 nights. Why don't you reward me? You've worked so hard, just go to sleep. What's the reward for me? Mirabelle knew very well what Su Lin was trying to do with his wolfish look, but she pretended not to understand. It seems that maturity is not enough. You come too. Su Lin turned and said to Sophia and the others. Me, Jianwu said seriously at this moment. Don't interrupt, kid, you don't understand, Zai Lei said. Su Lin's heart was shocked at this moment, but he still pretended to be reserved and hugged his wives back to the room. When the Yan country audience saw this, they understood what was meant and left the live broadcast room one after another. Sure enough, after a while, the system sound was heard and the screen went black. Yan country player Su Lin is holding a wedding ceremony. The following scene is not suitable for playback and the system automatically blocks it. It's time to eat. Zai Lei's voice suddenly sounded outside the door. She was carrying plates of delicious, freshly cooked dishes. She hasn't eaten anything good since she followed Su Lin out. It happened that she had a lot of harvest this time, and Zai Lei also cooked a full meal. But when she brought everything to the table, an unknown noise was heard again. Zai Lei's face turned red, but he looked helpless and could only yell. You guys are really bullying. After saying that, he sat down at the dining table angrily and started eating without caring about his image. He looked hungry to begin with, but Su Lin and the others did this. He just showed off his food like crazy and didn't even think about leaving any for Su Lin and the others. Whatever you want, just don't eat it. Jianwu, you have to eat with me. Forget it. Zai Lei didn't even wait for Jianwu's response, his face full of anger. I am still a child, and it is the time for me to grow up. She was pouting while saying this, looking like a tsundere loli. Chapter 221, Home Upgrade, Lord Su Lin. As time passed, the stars outside had long disappeared. The shining sunlight reflected Su Lin and the others like flowing water. At this moment, the Yan Country channel is in full swing of conversation. I thought it would only take a few hours, but I fell asleep, and the live stream was still turned off when I woke up at night. God, Su, you are really a tough guy. I admire you, I admire you. Why don't you be more restrained? If you don't hang it in the dungeon room, it will be ridiculous if you hang it on the bed. The motion is seconded. What? The top leaders of Yan State were also watching the live broadcast at this moment. Because of the Lord Token, the Great Lord of Yan also convened a high-level meeting early in the morning. If Su Lin uses the Lord Token this time, Yan State's national defense strength will definitely increase greatly. And at this moment, Su Lin has become an absolutely important person to this country. His every move concerns the future of Yan country. God bless Yanwang. The system allowed Su Lin to participate in the game and brought countless benefits to Yan country. This is evident to everyone in Yan country and even the world. Inside the home, as soon as Su Lin and the others walked out of the room, they smelled the aroma of delicious food. For them, who had fought hundreds of rounds that night and had not eaten yet, it was undoubtedly the biggest temptation, making them salivate. As a result, when they arrived at the table, they saw Zai Lei eating with voracious appetite, with no intention of leaving any food for Su Lin and others. Zai Lei was eating meat with oil dripping from his mouth. When he saw Su Lin and the others, he was stunned for a moment. Then he continued eating as if he didn't see it. "Ah, bastard, what are you doing?" When Su Lin grabbed Zai Lei's ear with one hand, the little telegraph machine screamed again. "How do I know you have so much energy? You've been fighting all night. Look how long it's been now." Zai Lei covered his ears and said unwillingly, "I was kind enough to cook for you, but I was the only one there yesterday, so I had to help you out reluctantly. It's hard to help. I see you're enjoying your meal. I brought all this food back. It hurts." After a while, Su Lin and the mistresses finally had the big meal they wished for. Only Zai Lei was left, still crying while cooking and still sending small telegrams. A world where only Zai Lei was hurt was born. Su Lin walked to the yard. The 4 Huachang thugs were guarding outside the wall without any fluctuations. The fish-headed commander, the patroller Red Demon, the sleeping flower princess, and the demonic rock giant are all B-level spirit beasts. The audience in the live broadcast room couldn't help but say it was incredible. These days, they are not only watching Su Lin's experience, but people from other countries are also watching. However, there are only a few system players in the world who have reached B, but Su Lin has several of them, especially the 4 flower pets who were only fit to act as thugs, standing stupidly by the wall like living mascots, ready to be ordered around by Su Lin at any time. Moreover, Su Lin seemed unsatisfied at this moment, and the audience couldn't help but boo. Once you reach the pure land of bliss, the power to protect your home becomes much stronger. Not only are there 8 sea-level bronze puppets, but there are also spearmen, archers, and shield soldiers. Even outside the home, there are hundreds of undead servants, counting the ones that were originally at home. After the undead servants that were collected by the random room of the pure land of bliss were swallowed by Su Lin's undead form, he took the time to collect them again. Any hidden dungeon level in the Pure Land can be turned into a small boss. Only Su Lin can match this kind of strength and scale. Although he has not yet upgraded with the Lord Token, his defensive strength at this moment can be said to be capable of rivaling a country, and is almost the same as the defense capability of a city-state. This ability also makes Yan country gain face in the real world. Other countries have nothing to say and can only take care of their own cake. After all, if Su Lin continues to rise sharply and the system's rewards continue to be distributed to Yan country, then Yan country's status may be far ahead of all countries in the world. If anyone dislikes Yan country, he will suffer a lot. Thinking of this, during this period of time, fewer people from other countries came to Yan country's live broadcast room to talk nonsense, and they could only endure it silently. Su Lin waved his right hand, and a brilliant light flashed. At this moment, the spoils in the storage ring were neatly placed on the ground. The most important thing is this epic purple superior Lord Token. Su Lin will use it to renovate and upgrade his home again later. There are also 5 corpses of centipede Taoist priests, who were refined by Juchen during their lifetime and are filled with the aura of death. Then there was the epic elixir obtained by defeating Juchen, but this magic elixir was not needed to improve his strength at the moment, so Su Lin did not think much about it for the time being, as it might be useful in the future. There is also a fragment of the Book of the Dead taken from Roland's. I don't know how the Red Queen research is going. Su Lin remembered that last night, he threw the half-dead Kui Beiju directly to the Titan aid system and asked the Red Queen to study it. Perhaps there should be some clues in these days. Su Lin put most of the things in place, put some of the unusable things back into his storage ring, and only left one thing. Lord's token. The system information appeared in front of Su Lin again. Let me see how useful this token is. Player Su Lin, do you want to use the Lord token to transform your home? Su Lin directly chose to confirm. The audience in the live broadcast room also immediately perked up. The number of people in Yan Country's live broadcast room reached an unprecedented high, and they were afraid of missing out on something. This scene was also being played at the meeting of Yan State's top leaders at the time. The Great Flame Lord and the Second Flame Lord were also on edge at this moment, watching this scene intently. The Lord's token suddenly emitted a dazzling light. After a flash, the token slowly turned into scattered dots and gradually embedded in the palm of Su Lin, forming the word Su. But after a while, apart from the system prompt disappearing, there was no movement at all. The expected scene did not occur. Su Lin was still imagining whether his red maple courtyard villa would also collapse directly like the cabin. He even wondered if there was something wrong with the system. Are you kidding me? Buzz, buzz, buzz. The huge earth rumbling sound resounded through the sky, and even Su Lin was startled. The scene changed, and Su Lin saw that his sight was getting farther and farther away, and he came to a place like a barrier. Looking closely, I found that Ellie, Zai Lei, and the others were also teleported here. They looked confused, as if they had no idea what was going on. At this moment, I felt as if I had been detached from reality, watching everything in front of me becoming increasingly illusory. Boom, tilde, tilde, tilde. The ground shook and the mountains rumbled. I saw that the ground where I was standing just now collapsed, and the surrounding walls fell into it, like a bottomless abyss. Boom, the red maple villa collapsed instantly, disappearing into ruins. But it's not over yet. Suddenly, a magnificent building appeared in everyone's sight, with magnificent stone pillars standing tall. Chapter 222, The Prelude to the Era of Global Lords begins. Just see. The gatehouse is tall and majestic, and even the main entrance of the building has two majestic stone statues of spirit animals. The previous courtyard and spiritual field have disappeared, replaced by a vast square with pure white stone bricks paved on the ground, which looks very imposing. There is more, not only the building, but also a garden off the palace. In addition to Su Lin's spiritual plants, there are all kinds of exotic flowers and plants. As the palace slowly appeared, Su Lin and his group returned to reality. They were now in front of the hall door. The space was wider and more spacious, and the furniture in front of the room had been completely renewed. Not only are the walls thicker, they even have more patterns and designs. On both sides of the hall are rows of rooms, all filled with exquisite furnishings and decorations. Showing luxury, Su Lin and the audience in the live broadcast room all looked shocked. Ellie and Mirabelle were both shocked, although I have seen the scene of the cabin being transformed into a red maple courtyard villa before. The changes at this moment are even more unexpected. Live broadcast room. What the hell? I haven't even occupied the villa yet, but Su Shen has already become the Great Lord. Red maple courtyard villa. It turns out that I am just like the cabin. Do I no longer love it after using it? Crying. Of course I use the good stuff first, sleazy smile. What a scumbag, he changes when he says so. Su Shenk is very affectionate, and he has a lot of lovely wives. Isn't it because I've added so many talents? I don't even have a girlfriend now. I told you to stop using glue and go outside, but you're still entertaining yourself. The audience was in deep shock at this moment. But it's not over yet. The sounds of transformation outside are still coming out. Su Lin walked out of the hall and flew out using his light pattern wings. I saw that a great change had taken place outside the palace. The entire home was actually located on a small island with towering trees and lakes. Looking further away, I could even see the rippling blue sea. Various spiritual plants and flowers appeared around, and this place has become a mini version of paradise. After a long time, the system sound suddenly appeared. Congratulations to the host. You have used the Epic Superior Lord token and become a lord. Su Lin didn't even think about it because he didn't know how to come up with any fancy names. After all, it was the token taken from the Pure Land of Bliss, so he just called it Jijing Island. After Su Lin finished the modification, the information of Jijing Island appeared in front of him. Home Pure Land Fairy Island. Type Architecture. Grade B+. Quality Rare Purple Up Arrow. Stars. Facilities, 1 marriage room, 4 random rooms. Attached spiritual field, attached spiritual lake. Features, 1. The Lord can set up his own army. build barracks, and conquer random rooms and game world races to move in and become residents of the territory. Feature 2. After the home is upgraded to a territory, it can be fed back to the country owned by the real-world player. Scope: the entire territory. Does it need to feed homeland protection back to the real world? Su Lin didn't even think about it and just pressed confirm. Because the Yan country player, Su Lin, used the Lord token, the Yanhuang civilization is now upgraded. Scope: the entire territory. This news reached the eyes of everyone in Yan country, and almost everyone cheered on the spot, and the whole country celebrated together. Even the top leaders of Yan state could not sit still after seeing this scene, and quickly sent a telegram to the border to confirm the current situation. Images from the border came quickly. As the system's broadcast ended, the edge of Yan state's territory underwent earth-shaking changes. In addition to the existing national defense buildings, magnetic and electric barriers have already been built on the periphery. Everywhere is a stage where energy is always abundant. According to the system, if it is directly fed back to the real world, even the barrier's energy problem can be solved. The people of Yan were amazed. Even if a disaster struck their neighboring country, this barrier would still protect them. After all, the sea-level monsters in the game are extremely terrifying, let alone them in the real world. Ultra Clean Island, abbreviation. After Su Lin had arranged everything, he returned to the palace. Now he can almost empathize with the ancient kings. Not only does he have a gorgeous palace, but he also has beauties in the harem. Looking at the mountains and rivers outside is really a pleasure. The other side, Hulk Hogan also got the Lord token. After returning home and taking a short rest, he also renovated his home. As the system's voice sounded, Hulk Hogan's home also underwent earth-shaking changes. From the original small wooden house, it has now become a magnificent mansion. Although the scale was not as grand as Su Lin's, it still shocked Hook and his partner. Hook had never experienced such a large homeland in the real world, and he couldn't even believe it. Because the discrimination against rednecks in American society has reached a level that is deeply rooted in the bones. Even welfare and social status are not theirs. They are now at the bottom of American society. After years of ZZZQ propaganda, the status of black people has changed completely, and they have almost become the target of everyone's condemnation. Hook couldn't help feeling a little sad when he thought of this. But I am very lucky. Before I joined this game, I didn't have any idea at first, until I met Sarona and came to this point today. Does it need to feed homeland protection back to the real world? Although Hook's token level is not top-notch, it still has a feedback effect, but its range has been reduced a lot and cannot cover the entire United States. Hook, you are our pride. Oh my God, look at how manly he is. I bet he will put the protection in Huashengdun. After all, it is the capital of the United States. Bullshit, is Ants a white pig worthy of this? Hook smiled contemptuously, remembering his previous experience. Then click confirm. Bang! As the system's voice sounded. Due to the use of the Lord token by the American player, Hulk Hogan, the American civilization is now upgraded. Scope: the entire state of Texas. The audience was in an uproar. Even the top U.S. officials who had remained silent were stunned by what they saw. Although Hook had previously only given the marriage bonus to the rednecks, national defense within a country is no joke, and if used properly, it can even determine the demise of a country. I saw that there was a protective barrier around Texas to isolate the outside world. Although it is still within the United States at the moment, judging from the current situation, it is no different from establishing another country. It is exactly the attitude of a country within a country. At this moment, the rednecks in the United States also seem to understand. They actually started packing up and preparing to move to Texas. Texas is no longer a world for white people, but an independent special zone for rednecks. Even the top U.S. officials can't do anything about it. Although the protection is not as strong as electromagnetic barriers, it is enough to isolate the outside world. Fuck. The audience in the live broadcast room also output. How could such a disaster appear in the Great America? Chapter 223, Cui Beaju sells her body. You are so blind. It is because of you rednecks that the United States is so unlucky. Many American people collectively condemned the incident in the live broadcast room. Because they are now in the real world, they cannot do anything to Hook, who is in the game world, so they can only direct their anger towards the rednecks in the territory. But since the system's rewards came, Texas has seen a lot more rednecks entering the country. This has not only failed to alleviate the social status of rednecks, but has also aggravated the racial discrimination they suffer. At this moment, various articles written by other American people complaining about nothing have also become hot searches. Ultimately, the root of all this is the deep-rooted racial discrimination among Americans. If he had not committed a crime in the past, there would be no revenge today. At this moment, Natasha, a player from Babingsha country, also brought Ali with her. As the system's prompts sounded, their homes gradually collapsed and melted. All the original buildings gradually disappeared, and their homes had been upgraded to a manor. In the days since the deal with Boss Han, Natasha has felt a little bit of fear. He looked listless as he hadn't been sleeping all day. But every time it comes to this time, Ali's large and strong hands always comfort Natasha. Although Ali, who belongs to the Snow Ape tribe, is born with ice element, he only puts away his coldness when he is with Natasha. The severe cold and frost did not harm either of them, but instead gave Natasha a sense of security she had never had before. After that, Natasha let it go, but she still didn't have the courage to tell Ali about the trade of the child. Does it need to feed homeland protection back to the real world? Natasha looked at the system prompt in front of her. Because Babingsha Kingdom is adjacent to Yan Kingdom, and the two countries have harmonious relations. So Natasha thought about it for a moment. It was decided to extend the lordship to the coastal areas of Babingsha country. Albert and Adele, a player from Gaul, also upgraded their territories together. Only, Albert no longer has any affiliated countries. After the system upgraded his territory, there was no subsequent prompt to descend upon the affiliated countries. The people of England blamed all of this on Su Lin and Albert. If the spider companion had not been killed, the reward for the territory would have gone to England, where the sun never sets. At this moment, they on Jijing Island were still shocked by the scene before them. Zai Lei and Ellie are particularly energetic. The previous old house was already luxurious and magnificent enough, and this time there was a palace-like building. Wow, this wall. Wow, this table. Wow. Before Zai Lei could finish her complaint, Su Lin couldn't stand it anymore and interrupted her. Seeing her inexperienced and useless appearance, Su Lin was speechless. Owner, Jian Wu hesitated at the side, as if he had something to say. The girls also turned their eyes to Jian Wu. Jian Wu, I think you are getting stronger and stronger, Tilda. Thinking about the baby in my belly. Ellie hugged Jian Wu's slender waist, as if she saw her daughter growing up day by day, and she exuded the aura of a loving mother. Unexpectedly, since being possessed by the Guardian last time, not only has the sword dance skill of Extreme Memory Sword Dance been improved, but there is also an unnamed heart sword skill in the skill column. Su Lin was no exception in terms of skill improvement. After all, Jian Wu was possessed before, and Miao Kuehua was just a remnant soul. In her spiritual state, she would leak some spiritual power to a certain extent, and it was reasonable for it to be directly absorbed by Jian Wu and suddenly promoted. But the nameless sword technique. At this moment, Su Lin seemed to remember something. He opened his system information, looked at the skill column, and found that there was actually one more item. Made a fortune. Before Jian Wu had any spiritual consciousness, Su Lin used the Book of the Dead to cast the hexagram spiritual seal on Jian Wu. At that time, this spiritual seal was only used to obtain the Extreme Memory Sword Dance. I didn't expect it to be a permanent solution. Now this spiritual seal can also directly and automatically acquire skills. Su Lin was also surprised when he saw the nameless heart sword technique, purple, LV1 in his skills status bar. Before, Su Lin saw the defender use this skill to seriously injure the B+ level Juchen with one strike. If it weren't for the fact that the defender had no physical body, Su Lin would really like to get to know him and then hit a home run directly. After all, that defender is quite good looking. What are you going to do with that humanoid, or whatever it is? At this time, Sophia, who was standing aside, spoke softly. After hearing these words, Su Lin withdrew his thoughts. The last time he left Kui Beaju with the Red Queen, he looked half dead. It's time to go there. Let's go and have a look. After thinking for a moment, Su Lin brought Sophia to the courtyard. As the territory expanded, the courtyard became much wider. Su Lin left one of the 4 flower pets in the backyard at that time. Regardless of whether Kui Beaju was awake or not, the discovery of the humanoids made the possibility of the fusion of Lei and the female ghost Ziyufa even greater, which made Su Lin take it very seriously. Here, the fish head commander was quietly staying by the wall, while Kui Jingya, who was possessed by Kui Beaju, was being guarded at this moment. You seem to be in good spirits. Previously, Su Lin gave Kui Beaju a few pills to restore his energy. At this moment, Kui Beaju had woken up. Its rosy complexion matches her delicate facial features and fair skin, and the slight wound on its face makes it look even more charming and attractive. If he didn't know that it was a humanoid, Su Lin would have actually thought this thing was quite cute, at least cuter than a small telegraph. Sophia saw Su Lin in a daze and whispered, "Do you still want to take action against it?" she said with a smile. "I have you guys, that's enough." Tusk tilde. Sophia looked annoyed, but she wasn't really angry. Kui Beaju watched Su Lin from the side. At that time, its memory was still in the pure land of bliss. When it saw Su Lin and others preparing to escape, it did not expect that after taking a few steps, its eyes suddenly went dark. When it woke up, it found itself in a courtyard, and all the wounds on its body had healed. There was actually a B-level fish head monster staring at him. Just when Kui Beaju thought he was going to die, he found that the fish-headed monster had no intention of killing him. It just kept staring at him. It would only move when Kui Beaju tried to escape. Kui Beaju is only C-level, and he dare not act rashly due to the level suppression of B-level. But when Su Lin and others came in, this fish-headed monster actually obeyed Su Lin's orders. I still can't see through Su Lin's strength. The possibility of accepting a B-level spirit beast as a younger brother shows that Su Lin's level has long been unknown. It's impossible to force your way in. How about trying to sell yourself? Chapter 224, Perfect Container, achieved. Humanoids are very familiar with controlling emotions, and even observing people's words and expressions is one of their strengths. Kui Beaju also saw Su Lin's absent-minded expression when he looked at himself just now. It has already decided that if it tries to escape by force now, it will definitely not be able to escape their clutches. Kui Beaju is only at C-level strength at this time, and the fish-headed monster next to her is very difficult to deal with, not to mention Su Lin in front of her whose strength is unclear. Kui Beaju thought in her heart. He didn't say anything at this moment. He could only be suppressed and wait for the opportunity. Kui Beaju is still using Kui Jingya's body at this moment. I have to say, this guy from South Korea is pretty good looking. Its clothes were a little torn during the battle, and now it was tied here by Su Lin. It actually looked a little pitiful. If one didn't know the inside story, anyone would probably be deceived by its current appearance. Dig it out and let me hear it. It's you again, Brother Boki. I'm a Shemel, you're so confused, Brother Boki. What's wrong with being a ladyboy? You should appreciate beauty, you country bumpkin drooling. No, leave for a while, go get some glue. Su Lin and the others also turned around and looked at Kui Beaju. Because of the golden finger, Su Lin was looking at Kui Beaju's message at this time. The humanoids are a special race, and their only inherent greed for possessing humans is that they keep changing their form according to the will of others, to the point that others completely trust you and end up being possessed by you. Even all its memories are obtained by devouring others. That's why this Korean player has come this far step by step. This made Su Lin think of a creature, a parasite. Kui Beaju pretended to touch the corner of her eyes. Relying on his memory and ability, he began to persuade Su Lin and his group to let him go, and there was even a hint of bewitchment in his appearance. After saying that, he actually started to imitate humans and began to test the bottom line of Su Lin and others, and even pretended to surrender. However, the system's prompt still exposed Kui Beaju. Name Choi Kyung-ah. Race humanoid. Strength C. State anxious fearful. Hint, it wants you to let down your guard, hoping to survive you by any means. At the same time, it is greedy for your powerful strength. Su Lin could only say that if it were in the real world, you would definitely have a place as an Oscar actor. But in front of Su Lin, it's not enough. See here, Su Lin unexpectedly changed his usual behavior and became more curious about this humanoid race. He walked slowly towards Kui Beaju, stretched out his hands like a gentleman and helped Kui Beaju up. Kui Beaju thought she had succeeded and was laughing in her heart, concentrating her strength at all times to seize Su Lin's mind. Although Su Lin's abilities are unfathomable, it does not necessarily mean that his will is as strong as that of a saint. But then he changed the subject. Su Lin supported Kui Beaju with one hand, and the other hand was placed on Kui Beaju's head without him noticing. Before Kui Beaju's skill was activated, Su Lin's eyes flashed fiercely, and Kui Beaju's eyes went dark immediately, and she gradually lost consciousness. This shocked everyone present, including the audience in the live broadcast room. Fuck God, Su, you are so cruel. Sophia was equally shocked, but Su Lin's expression did not waver at all. Because they didn't know. But after Su Lin's reminder, he was very clear about the abilities of the humanoids. The conditions for Choi Bo-ju to activate her skills are currently unknown. But it's always better to be careful. Su Lin tried hard to suppress his emotions. At this moment, Mirabelle came to Su Lin. In the eyes of everyone, Cui Beaju had stopped moving at this time. Su Lin looked at Mirabelle beside him. Can your clan seize the will of others? Mirabelle was confused at this time and didn't know what Su Lin was thinking. But he still followed Su Lin's words. No, the most we can do is sense the emotions of plants and use spiritual plants. Su Lin felt a little lost. But if you improve the flower language technique a little bit and keep his will while turning him into a flower pet, you can also command him. Does it mean like a puppet? Su Lin thought about it and agreed. Then Mirabelle started the spell, and Cui Beaju's appearance gradually changed visible to the naked eye. There are still some traces of flowers on the body. Su Lin walked into the spacecraft control room and found the Red Queen. When the Red Queen saw Su Lin coming, the unique mechanical voice of AI was heard. Welcome back, Master. Su Lin asked again the same question he had asked the Red Queen before. Is it possible to merge the hair of the red makeup female ghost with the parasite mother, Rebe? The expression calculated by the Red Queen system was also stunned. It was as if it had not expected that Su Lin would still insist on this issue after so long. Because the Red Queen had already calculated this matter. This time, the Red Queen only needs to take out the previous backup to present the answer. Everything is fast. As the data was reorganized and exported, the Red Queen's mechanical voice was heard again. Master, this method is feasible. Condition 1. Because the hair of the red makeup woman is exactly opposite to the attributes and skills of the parasite mother, Ribe. When fusing them, we must pay attention to whether the abilities of both parties can balance each other to achieve a restraint. Condition 2. The container must be able to hold two different products, preferably living things with rich emotions. When the keywords came out, Su Lin interrupted the Red Queen. Su Lin placed Cui Beaju in front of the Red Queen. The Red Queen looked at Cui Beaju, and then a scanner appeared on the operating table and exchanged information on Cui Beaju. After a while of scanning, the data on the device screen rushed like a waterfall, and the complex formulas and simulations were also seamlessly switched. Cui Beaju saw that the information of her humanoid race was also displayed in front of the screen at the same time. There are also various documents and instructions, and even the origin of humanoids is displayed. Everything about possession and skills is almost the same as the system's information. The Red Queen had a rare look of doubt. According to the intelligence she had just found and the information about the humanoids, Cui Beaju and other humans could perfectly match the hair of the red-made female ghost and the parasite mother, Lebe. Moreover, they are living beings, so they have great emotional sensitivity. The Red Queen is an artificial intelligence. She only knows algorithms and inferences. But at this moment, everything is so coincidental. The Red Queen cast her eyes towards Su Lin too. Su Lin also looked expectant, leaving the inhumane Cui Beaju aside, not knowing what to do. The answer is fit. Su Lin was shocked. This is undoubtedly the best news. The container problem has been solved, and in a sense they have almost succeeded. Su Lin took out the hair of the red, made-up female ghost, and the shrunken mini figurine of Rebecca. He handed them all over to the Red Queen for study. Because the statistical algorithm has been released, and now we have the containers and materials, all that's left is the research results. However, due to the huge workload, and Cui Beaju also has her own consciousness and may not completely listen to them. Although Su Lin has the Book of the Dead, there is no need to use it at present. So in this case, the Red Queen will still spend a lot of time dealing with some uncertain factors. Su Lin was not in a hurry either. After all, he always remembered the saying that you can't eat hot tofu in a hurry. By then, I wonder what Rebecca and this thing will look like. Today is the 10,086th day I miss Zyro Hongzhuang. Chapter 225. Enemies in the Mist, the appearance of the terrifying claw crocodile bird. In the dream. Run that way, don't look back. You must live well. Then a huge crocodile bird spread its wings and covered the backs of the two huge thunder beasts. Zai Lei's body shook, and a huge sense of fear continued to spread at this moment. I have been dreaming about my parents more and more frequently in the past few days. Almost every dream is the same, with exactly the same scenes and even the same crocodiles and birds. But what she feared was that it was the parents in her dreams that were constantly changing. Their faces became more and more blurred. In her mind, their appearance seemed to be covered by a layer of fog. No matter how hard she tried to recall, she could only remember fragments of them. Zai Lei looked at the night here and started to become emotional, unable to fall asleep for a long time. Early the next morning, watching the live broadcast room that just changed from a black screen to a normal scene. The audience is used to it. There is no doubt that someone must have fought all night, killing decisively and causing hundreds of millions of casualties. Who made the flowers bloom all over the garden, just waiting for Su Lin to pick them. Jianwu stood in the hall waiting, glancing at Su Lin from time to time. Su Lin saw that the empty hall was missing the most familiar figure. Normally, shouldn't the small telegraph machine have arrived long ago, and the meals already prepared? Why is she nowhere to be seen today? Su Lin was still thinking about it, but purple lightning appeared from behind without him noticing. He was just about to take action, but he never expected Zai Lei to look so haggard. Speaking of which, it seems that Zai Lei has been in low spirits these days. Even the number of times we argued with each other decreased a lot. To be honest, Su Lin actually missed the days when Zai Lei quarreled with him every day. I even began to doubt whether I was Stockholm. This description is inappropriate. To be precise, it feels strange and awkward when a familiar friend suddenly changes his personality. But, before Su Lin could finish his thoughts, the Red Queen's early warning system interrupted everyone's thoughts. The patrol lanterns outside the home were also discovered. Missed monster attacks. By patrolling the lanterns, the first enemy that appeared in the fog was a group of skeleton soldiers. He was wearing tattered armor, covered with gaps and cracks, like a wronged soul that had been wandering outside for a long time, being tempered and eroded by time. But what's different from before is that this time, these skeleton soldiers are not as poorly equipped as last time. On the contrary, what appeared before his eyes was a legion of skeletons. The skeleton soldiers in the front row held rusty weapons in their hands, and a layer of armor was covered on their bones. Some of them not only held weapons, but some even picked up shields to act as front-line defense. The cavities in their skulls are deep and frightening, and their teeth appear even sharper and more ferocious, making people shudder. The Skeleton Legion suddenly faced its own skeleton soldiers. However, the home defense that Su Lin arranged in the rear was far more than just these skeletons. The undead servants behind followed closely, and the 8 bronze puppets were ready to fight back. During this time, the other 3 flower pets surrounded the wall to prevent any fish from slipping through the net. Su Lin suddenly remembered that they seemed to be working for him. This is how it should be for a working person. The boss lives in the house you want to live in and dates the girls you want to date, but you can only work for the boss. Soon, the group of Karami mist skeleton soldiers in the front row were quickly dealt with. As the skeleton army collapsed, a roar resounded through the sky. Zai Lei, who was originally listless, was suddenly awakened in an instant. She will never forget this beast who took away her deepest love. Chinese letter. The wings of the giant bird were covered with tough skin. It descended with a mouth like a ferocious crocodile that kept roaring. It kept circling in the sky, its pair of terrifying claws like a dinosaur waiting for the opportunity to gain momentum. Name, Deinonychus crocodile bird. Grade B. Psychic power, 28,500. Talent omitted. Skills omitted. There was more than one coming. Following behind it were countless sea-level birds and beasts of various types. They no longer paid attention to the battlefield on the ground, and rushed straight to Lord Su Lin's territory as if they had planned it as a group. Court death. Su Lin jumped up. The light pattern wings spread out. Some bird monsters noticed him and turned to look at him, but Su Lin didn't take these scums seriously at all. Confinement chains. In an instant, all the birds that passed by Su Lin, or even those that were flying straight towards Su Lin, were unable to move for a moment. Die! Su Lin shouted softly. In an instant, starting from Su Lin himself, the power of thunder spread to Su Lin's entire body. With a sound, hundreds of birds that were trapped around him turned into ashes in an instant. Su Lin's condescending attitude made him look like a strong man. As he looked at the monsters in the sky that had not yet been completely destroyed, his eyes gradually became cold. Boom! A fire dove suddenly gathered strength in its mouth, trying to shoot at Su Lin's critical moment. Just as the fire dove was about to succeed, another bolt of lightning struck the fire dove's entire head. Before it realized what was happening, it fell to the ground like a stone. At this moment, Su Lin also heard the noise. When I looked back, I suddenly realized that it was a small telegraph machine. But at this moment, the little telegraph machine no longer had the liveliness it once had, and instead, its eyes were filled with a hint of anger. She held thunder in her hands, and although she had the body of a little lowly, it did not slow down her flying speed at all. When Su Lin was about to ask Zai Lei what was going on, in just a moment, Zai Lei swept away almost all the small fish. Zai Lei ignored Su Lin, as if Su Lin didn't exist at all, and went straight to the Deinonychus. When Su Lin saw this scene, he suddenly understood something. The little telegraph machine had mentioned its life story before. Her parents had lured a B+ level alligator bird, and then disappeared without a trace. Maybe this is the reason why Zai Lei has been unhappy recently. Su Lin thought to himself, but at this time, we still have to pull Xiao Zile back first. From the moment she arrived at the scene to the massacre, she didn't say a word during the entire process. Although his parents disappeared because of the Deinonychus crocodile bird, that bird was obviously B. How could it be the one that the little telegraph machine's parents let out? But Zai Lei didn't think much about it at this moment. At this moment, she was staring at the eyes of the Deinonychus, and it seemed as if endless flames were about to emerge from her eyes. The Deinonychus crocodile bird seemed to sense something and quickly spread its wings and turned around. But it's too late. Seeing that the alligator bird was showing signs of escaping, Zai Lei quickly condensed his lightning element magic and gathered it at the soles of his feet. Then, with a burst of momentum, the purple lightning rushed out at almost the speed of light. With the naked eye, it was visible that only a horizontal streak of lightning remained in the sky, and its terrifying force went straight through the Deinonychus. Only the sound of screams remained. P.S. It's a new week. Please vote ~. Chapter 226. New and Old Hatreds, the Furious Little Purple Thunder. The purple lightning did not stop after piercing the Deinonychus. Her petite arms gradually turned into beasts. Zai Lei moved instantly, grabbed the head of the Deinonychus crocodile bird and rode on it. Her spiritual power is not as good as that of the alligator bird, but she has 4 B-level flower pets to help her. The fish-headed commander, the patroller red ghost, the sleeping flower princess, and the magic rock giant, giving her various advantages. Indeed, the Deinonychus is a very powerful beast. Looking at the foggy world, they are all powerful races. But in terms of intelligence, it is far inferior to that of the thunder beast. It is more like a ferocious beast than a demon beast. But it's not so outrageous as to be as stupid as the group of irrational beasts in the strange beast laboratory, in the computer room, who have only the desire to kill. In terms of IQ, the Deinonychus is equivalent to that of a human child. But where there is loss, there is gain. After a long period of survival under the natural rules, although the Deinonychus crocodile bird is not as intelligent as other monsters, it has evolved skin and physique that is far tougher than that of ordinary flying races, as if it was born for war and fighting. The entire body is covered with petrified scales, and the back is surrounded by huge streamlined wings. Not only does it enhance their ability to fight in combat, but they can even withstand greater pressure when flying at high altitudes in order to achieve excellent speed. At the same level, ordinary monsters face creatures like the Deinonychus. Ordinary attacks cannot cause any damage, especially since the Deinonychus is incredibly fast. It would be difficult to hit it if the skill is not fast enough. Even in a one-on-one situation, the chances of winning are still less than 50%. At this moment, Su Lin and Sophia were looking at the sky in the distance. At this moment, the small telegraph machine was like a Shura, and its hands had turned into sword-like claws. Die, bastards! Zai Lei roared angrily. Each claw strike contained extremely powerful force, which directly penetrated the skin of the Deinonychus's head, constantly bringing out bright red. Looking at the deep wound on the skin, Zai Lei's gradually scarlet eyes became more and more terrifying. Zai Lei chanted for a while, and then began to guide the power of thunder. Skill lightning chain. After a moment, the thunder in Zai Lei's palm, along with waves of electric current, directly hit the body of the Deinonychus crocodile bird, as if an indestructible electric cage instantly imprisoned the body of the Deinonychus crocodile bird. Purple thunder roared, and tens of millions of volts of high voltage instantly spread throughout the body of the Deinonychus. With 4 flower pets restraining it, the Deinonychus crocodile bird couldn't use its full abilities and could only be abused. The audience of the Yan Country Channel were also stunned when they saw Zai Lei, who looked like a Shura at this moment. Fuck, the little telegraph machine is so powerful. When I followed Su Lin before, I often slacked off, and I never thought that the small telegraph machine would be so powerful at this moment. It might be that Su Lin's power was too strong and overshadowed Zai Lei and the others. But now, the power of the small telegraph has once again refreshed their cognition. Before the Deinonychus realized what it had done, it was already destroyed by the purple lightning. Having said that, however, the Deinonychus is no ordinary creature, and its B-level strength is gradually revealed. The place that was pierced by the purple lightning had stopped bleeding at some point. At this time, the scales on the Deinonychus crocodile bird's body began to grow and slowly emerged, covering the skin that had not yet been protected. The body that was twitching just now seemed to have produced antibodies and stopped moving. The Deinonychus crocodile bird roared angrily, and its sharp claws cut through the cage. Zai Lei was also shocked. She had not expected such a scene. It was clearly the first blow that penetrated through, and coupled with the thunder all over the place at this moment, ordinary monsters of the same realm would definitely be seriously injured and become lambs to be slaughtered. But at this time, the Deinonychus crocodile bird not only did not fall down, but its body was covered with rock-hard scales to protect it from damage by thunder. Squeak, 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 tilde, tilde, tilde. As the lightning chain was broken, the Deinonychus howled. The sharp sound made Zai Lei's ears hurt, and his eardrums were almost broken. Taking advantage of Zai Lei's distraction, the alligator bird swooped down quickly, turned around and threw Zai Lei into the air. Zai Lei didn't have time to react. She was already in the air without any support. I saw the crocodile bird gradually climbing up, and actually turned its body upside down to attack the purple thunder at this time. Seeing the sharp claws of the Deinonychus approaching rapidly, Zai Lei subconsciously released a strong electric shield. But before the electric shield could be fully released, the terrifying claws chopped down like a giant sword. With a loud bang, the shield was broken, and blood gushed out from Zai Lei's body, and he flew directly into the air. The expected pain did not come. When Zai Lei was flipping in the air, he was suddenly dragged and stabilized. When he looked at the small telegraph machine, it turned out to be Su Lin. Su Lin put down the small telegraph machine and quickly took out the remaining pages of the Book of the Dead. He bit his finger, and a drop of blood dripped onto the black parchment. In an instant, a cold air wave spread out from the book again. Su Lin's flesh and blood began to fade away, leaving only bones that were shining with a cold light. Su Lin turned into undead form again. Before the battle against Juchen, the Book of the Dead still had more than 60,000 undead powers left. At this time, Su Lin once again integrated the power of the undead, causing the spiritual energy in his body to surge. At this time, Su Lin was full of strength, and a casual wave of his hand was enough to deliver a heavy blow. At this time, Su Lin stretched out his bone claws, which were covered with countless black air. The Deinonychus also felt that Su Lin had reached the peak of level B at this time. The biological instinctive fear spread in his mind. He was about to turn around immediately, but then he found that he could not move. Confinement chains. The moment Su Lin saw the Deinonychus trying to escape, he immediately activated his skills. At this time, his undead form and undead skills were greatly enhanced. Even a B-level monster can be imprisoned for a moment, let alone a B-level Deinonychus. The undead energy from the abyss instantly embedded into the head of the Deinonychus. The scales that even Zai Lei could not do anything to just now were now easily torn apart in Su Lin's hands like cotton. The Deinonychus crocodile bird let out a series of screams and roared with all its might, hoping to shatter Su Lin's eardrums and give him a chance of survival. Unfortunately, Su Lin's body was just a skeleton at this time, and this kind of attack could not do anything to him at all. "Shut up," Su Lin said slowly. "Skill life drain purple." The roar of the Deinonychus crocodile bird became quieter and quieter, and it looked in the direction of Su Lin with astonishment. The Deinonychus crocodile bird had no power to resist and could only let Su Lin absorb its life force. As time goes by, the crocodile bird's huge body slowly landed without the support of flying. With a loud bang, the Deinonychus crocodile bird fell heavily to the ground. He was easily captured by Su Lin. Moreover, it did not consume much undead power. Instead, he absorbed a lot from the other side. Ha tilde tilde tilde. There was a whistling sound of wind. Zai Lei fell to the ground like thunder, his eyes fixed on the alligator bird looking furious. Chapter 227. Purple Thunder Troubles the Haunted Phantom Pawnshop. The huge body of the Deinonychus crocodile bird and the acceleration of gravity caused the Deinonychus crocodile bird to suffer a huge impact force on the ground. The thick petrified scales were directly smashed to pieces, and the skin on his body also retained the smell of being burned by the power of purple thunder. There was a crisscross sound of breaking stones and bones. Even the brains of the Deinonychus fell to the ground and were covered in dust. As the look of astonishment in the Deinonychus's eyes gradually dimmed. Ha tilde tilde tilde. Su Lin landed next to him, looking much more relaxed. Zai Lei, who was standing next to Su Lin, didn't say much. The injury I just suffered has almost recovered with the help of Sophia. But Su Lin seemed to be thinking about something. After all, Su Lin is only at B level in strength now, without the undead state. As he had just absorbed it with his own life force, the amount of necromancy energy stored in the Book of the Dead increased a lot. However, relying solely on the remaining pages of the Book of the Dead is not a long-term solution. After all, in the undead state, the spiritual energy consumed is still too huge when facing a strong enemy. He has always been a man who plans ahead. You still have to improve your own level. However, in this fog attack, many sea-level spirit beasts died both inside and outside the wall. Besides, there was the old bald donkey Juchen and the 5 centipede Taoists before. If they were all transformed into seeds of life and handed over to Sophia for refining, perhaps they could be upgraded to B-level strength in one fell swoop. The prerequisite is that the impurities and demonic elements inside must be removed first. As to how much pure spiritual energy will be left, that remains to be discussed. At this time, sweat wet Zai Lei's hair and stuck to his flawless white skin. Su Lin took a look at the corpse of the Deinonychus crocodile bird. Although he is a B-level small boss, his spiritual energy is about tens of thousands. Zai Lei on the side didn't say anything. His murderous pupils suddenly became lifeless. Su Lin remained silent. The foggy world of more than 20 years ago. The parents disappeared in order to protect Zai Lei. If there was still a chance of survival, he should have escaped and reunited with the small telegraph machine long ago. But there has been no news until now. If I go like this, I'm afraid I'll be in great danger. So Su Lin also expressed his understanding when Zai Lei was so furious. If doing this can make the little telegraph machine feel better, that would be good. Su Lin couldn't help but stretch out his hand and press it on the top of the small telegraph machine. It was not the familiar beating and scolding. Su Lin's large palm was actually full of tenderness at this moment. It feels like being a parent. Zai Lei came back to his senses, was stunned for a moment, and his eyes showed a hint of complicated emotions. But suddenly, she remembered what Su Lin had done to her at night before. This side table is a Lolita control, but in just a moment, it disappeared and never appeared again. Su Lin looked at the small telegraph machine at this time. Although she had transformed into a human form at this moment, she was only less than chest height. If you take a closer look, this little telegraph machine is quite nice looking. I wonder what it will look like when it matures. Su Lin collected the corpses that fell on the ground, and then used the flower language technique to transform them into seeds of life. After a quick count, Su Lin found that there were 20 C-grade life seeds and 1 B-grade life seed. As for the remaining lower-grade life seeds, Su Lin directly refined them and transformed them into the power of the undead. Then Su Lin handed the small telegraph machine a low-level blood essence pill. Although it can't improve her spiritual power too much at the current B level, it still serves as a comfort. But Zai Lei looked disdainful when he saw this, snorted lightly, and then confronted Su Lin. Who wants to eat this? Take it away. I want to eat braised pork. Su Lin, did I give you face? What do you want? I helped you as a thug for nothing. You can't even reward me. I tried to comfort you with good intentions, but you didn't appreciate it and instead gave me orders. Then Su Lin prepared to take out the 7 wolves that his little telegraph machine liked. The little telegraph machine curled its lips, and when it saw that Su Lin was about to explode, it ran back. You will suffer when you grow up. Su Lin thought to himself that an evil plan had already been planted in his heart. After returning home, the little telegraph machine seemed to have recovered and was carefree again, even a little bit eager to be beaten. Su Lin had a sullen expression on his face, and something just didn't feel right. Come here. Mirabelle saw Su Lin and others coming back, and she stood aside and called Su Lin. He then reported the status of the spiritual field to Su Lin. As the territory expanded, the quality of the spiritual fields also improved, and there was even a garden inside the upgraded mansion. This means that not only has the number of spiritual plants harvested increased, but the variety has also increased. If this is the case, Su Lin won't have to worry about the seed of life being wasted. If nothing unexpected happens with Mirabelle's care, he should be able to obtain the required materials soon. During this period, because Mirabelle was pregnant, Su Lin did not let her and Ellie accompany him to explore the random room. But she was not idle either. She was waiting for Su Lin while taking care of the spiritual field. It also took a lot of effort, and Su Lin nodded with satisfaction. It seems my wife is doing pretty well. Of course, since you're not at home, you can only entertain yourself. How is Xyroxian? She is still in the fruit state. I have been nourishing her with the seed of life. It won't be long before your little girl comes out. Should I make her some clothes? After all, the baby has just been born. I think the one with the little telegraph is pretty good. Have you ever seen me change my clothes? Su Lin also seemed to be suddenly enlightened. Everyone in their clan could change their clothes by themselves, so why did they need to make their own clothes? How about I change it for you? You? Mirabelle blushed at this moment, but Su Lin's coaxing and persuasion could not stop her, and the scene changed, and Su Lin and Mirabelle were in the flower room. The night was filled with passion and passion. Then the live broadcast screen was closed. Mirabelle moaned softly, and her angry look made Su Lin even more furious. But Mirabelle took the initiative and pressed Su Lin under her. You? Mirabelle gave Su Lin a seductive look, and then pressed her sweet lips against his so that he could not make any sound. When Su Lin came out again, it was already noon. Su Lin also remembered that today's random room refresh had occurred, and he had not had time to check it. Not surprisingly, there was still no movement in the marriage room today. Then we can only take a look at the 4 random rooms that were newly refreshed today. Random room number 1, Abyss Canyon. There are cliffs thousands of feet high here, and there are random bad weather at any time. You will face the Vermilion Scorpion that is good at using poison C+B. Defeat the Vermilion Scorpion woman, and you can obtain a B-grade blood essence pill in the Vermilion Scorpion's lair. Random room number 2, Special room, Sword Master, a lifetime of practice just for swordsmanship. Hint, defeating him can improve the Nameless Heart Sword technique. Random room number 3, Special scene, Ghost Pawn Shop, a mysterious pawn shop in a strange space where you can pawn anything you have, including your possessions, body, luck, spirit, love, and even soul to fulfill your wishes. Random room number 4, Dangerous scene, Endless Deep Sea. Hint, no treasure, no monsters. Coming again. Chapter 228, Little Red Scorpion, so funny. Su Lin was suspicious. Could it be that this pawn shop owner has set his sights on me? I unexpectedly got this phantom pawn shop in the random room again. This is the second time. But I didn't do anything at the time. It seemed like I just wanted to complete the task, and I didn't interact much with the boss. I just went in to take a look and left. As for the rest, nothing new about the random rooms. There is nothing but monster hunting, process of elimination. Anyway, the 4th one is definitely not considered. It's just a room with a C. It feels like the system brought it in specifically to make up the number. As for the 2nd sword, Master's special room. Since the last time Miao Kuehua possessed Jianwu, she has never woken up. At this time, the Nameless Sword of Mind was also collected in his storage ring. Because the level of the Nameless Heart Sword technique was too low, and he didn't know how to use a sword at all, even though he had this skill, he had no place to display it. If it can be improved, it would be good. Looking at the only level 1 unknown heart sword technique in his skill column, Su Lin was still quite eager to try it. At this time, Sophia was still refining the elixir. If everything goes well, he can come out of the random room of Mrs. Vermilion and refine another B-grade life seed. It won't be long before the harvest of the spiritual fields is completed. Then give it to Sophia for refining. By then, I will have a B+ grade blood essence pill, and nearly 8 B-grade blood essence pills in my hands. If this is the case, I am only 1 step away from reaching B-level strength. This time, Su Lin did not call Sophia, but turned around and asked Jianwu to follow. But I always feel that the fighting power is not enough. Looking at the small telegraph machine standing there doing nothing, Su Lin pulled her over without saying a word. Fuck you, you really think I'm your thug, Su Lin then used the power of the Spirit Beast contract to make her shut up, and Zai Lei had no resistance and could only shut her mouth obediently, with a look of reluctance on her face. Su Lin ignored her complaints and kicked her into random room number 1. On the other side, Jianwu followed Su Lin and walked in slowly. In random room number 1, what comes into view is an empty space. The surrounding area is surrounded by towering cliffs, with rocks of all sizes rolling down the cliffs all the time. The surrounding mountains are like brittle plates that cannot be touched. If you are not careful, this place will collapse in an instant and be buried by the mountain. However, it is indeed the Abyss Canyon. It was still morning, but because the distance was too far, not even the light could shine in, creating a very dark atmosphere here. If the two women and one man did not have B-level strength, it would not be difficult for them to see the road clearly. The crowd kept walking along the road, and only the sound of their footsteps remained in the valley. It echoed around the valley for a long time. As the narrow and dark road stretched on, everyone even became a little annoyed. But in the next moment, the view in front of me suddenly widened. But it's not only the view that is open, there is also a group of monsters here. Name, Vermilion Scorpion. Strength level, C level. Psychic power, 5,000. Skills, Red Poison, Blue. LV 500 Thorns, Blue, LV 3. The monsters are generally not of high level, but their size is comparable to that of an adult. Each scorpion's eyes were covered in scarlet, and even its stinger was oozing with a trace of poison. Seeing this, Jianwu rushed directly in front of Su Lin and the others. Because she was originally a puppet, and she wanted to protect her master, so she rushed out without any hesitation. With Jianwu's current strength, he didn't even have the ability to activate the extreme memory sword dance, but he could easily cut the opponent in half. Crack tilde tilde tilde. All the scarlet scorpions were like tofu. They were turned into a pile of corpses in Jianwu's hands before they could even last 2 rounds. Some scarlet scorpions even sprayed out red toxins in an attempt to paralyze the sword dancer's movements. But he didn't expect that Jianwu was actually a puppet, and the poison couldn't do anything to her at all. In this way, the scarlet scorpion could not escape the fate of death. Seeing this, Su Lin nodded slightly, but found that there were some more voices around him. Then he turned around and found the little telegraph machine slacking off. Xylei didn't look like she was going to put in any effort. She just stood behind Su Lin as if nothing had happened, watching Jianwu's gorgeous sword skills while cheering him on. Like the audience at the World Cup, every time Jianwu killed a scarlet scorpion, the little telegraph machine would shout, "Damn good sword. I think you are the real bitch." Another kick. The little telegraph machine covered its butt and was kicked directly to Jianwu's side. Jianwu looked at Xylei, who came to help, and made room for the small telegraph machine to function. The little telegraph machine was angry, but dared not say anything. She was afraid that Su Lin would do something to abuse her again. But she couldn't help being angry. "I'm sorry to have to inconvenience you then." She then expanded her domain, and the power of thunder spread at a terrifying speed. In less than a moment, all the scarlet scorpions within her sight were instantly turned into a pile of charcoal. Su Lin also nodded with satisfaction. And at the same time, he did not forget to use the flower language technique to transform the corpse into a seed of life and store it in his storage ring. Seeing his master's satisfied look, Jianwu, who was standing by, put away his sword and bowed slightly. Not long after, the B-level boss displayed by the system also appeared. Name, Red Scorpion Woman. Strength level, C+. Psychic power, 9,000. Skills, Scarlet Thorn, Purple, LV5, Scorpion's Descent, Blue, LV9, Withered Trees, Blue, LV9. Hint, halfway through the attack, the Red Scorpion Lady will enter the second stage, at which point she will transform into her final form. Unlike what was described, this Red Scorpion Lady did not look as gentle as her name. She was wearing a red kimono-like outfit, and her entire body from neck to head was covered with black shells. Like a scorpion's head, there is a dark red tail spiked behind it, which always allows it to attack. Xylei was filled with righteous indignation. Seeing that there was a monster in front of her that was neither human nor monster, she sent a ball of lightning straight towards her face. Although the Red Scorpion Woman looked weak, when danger was about to fall, she actually dodged the attack with a single move. Xylei didn't expect this either. She thought this guy was just like the little bastard just now and could be taken away with one shot. She curled her lips and fired 2 more thunders. This time, her lightning turned into a spear and went straight towards the Red Scorpion Woman. This attack was even more fierce, but the Red Scorpion Woman dodged both attacks with just a slight twist. "Hey, damn it!" Xylei, as if he didn't believe in evil, started rubbing thunder with his hands and started to greet them frantically. This little telegraph machine communicated directly with her unilaterally. Unexpectedly, it was so fast that the Red Scorpion Woman dodged all the attacks. Xylei's spiritual energy was also consumed a little, and perhaps because of his irritable mood, he began to breathe heavily. Chapter 229, the second form of the scorpion, Vermilion Scorpion Egg. "You can't do that either. She's only C+ grade." Su Lin saw that behind the red scorpion woman, there were deep pits of varying sizes. Just now, Zai Lei seemed to be angry with the red scorpion woman. There was no pattern at all, it was just a scene of magic bombardment. Besides, the red scorpion lady seemed to be non-existent, and she always dodged at extremely tricky angles. Perhaps it was really a little tired. The small telegraph machine that had been sending messages non-stop just gave Su Lin a blank look. It seems that the previous confrontation consumed a lot of spiritual energy. When he turned around, Jianwu had already rushed out and confronted the red scorpion woman. The sword dance stabbed out with the sword, showing its sharpness in every move. Although the red scorpion lady had perfect dodging ability, she still seemed a lot hasty when facing the parry of a B-level puppet. Besides, Jianwu is not a living creature, and in her concept there is no such thing as tiredness. All of her sword skills and moves will not be deformed over time. In this respect, she is many times stronger than Zai Lei, who is gasping for breath beside her. It's a pity that I can't cast long-range spells, otherwise I would be really invincible. Jianwu used his skill, Extreme Memory Sword Dance, without hesitation. The sword dance also caught the pattern of the red scorpion woman's dodging steps at this time. The sword dance induced the red scorpion woman to keep dodging in one direction. Suddenly, the next moment, the sword dance found the red scorpion woman's flaw and stabbed her directly with its sharp edge. The red scorpion woman had no time to defend herself before her neck was pierced directly by the sword dance. A little scarlet liquid was still leaking from the shell in the throat. The red scorpion woman twitched and her whole body fell to the ground, with her arms swinging continuously. Jianwu quickly moved aside a few steps, staring at the thing in front of him, and remained alert at all times. The red scorpion woman twitched for only a moment before she could no longer hold on and collapsed to the ground, gradually losing her life. It seems that this thing dodges quickly, and its health bar is quite fragile. Just when Zai Lei thought that the woman Zhuxi was dead and was about to go over, Su Lin angrily said, "Don't come near me." Before Zai Lei could react, he saw the red robe of the Zhuxi woman twitching slightly again. Click, click. The body of the red scorpion woman actually made a series of noises, and her arms, which had just collapsed on the ground, had curled up together without her noticing when. The body of the red scorpion woman gradually grew larger, and the spikes on her body and her huge size tore her kimono into pieces. Bang! The body of the red scorpion woman suddenly exploded, and a blood mist burst out, blocking everyone's vision. At this moment, Jianwu was still parrying on the spot, constantly looking around. Only a faint voice could be heard coming from the blood mist. Before Jianwu could react, a huge scorpion claw swung directly towards her. The next second, Jianwu's body flew straight away. If Zai Lei hadn't caught him, Jianwu would have fallen into the mountain wall. Immediately afterwards, the huge howl of the beast directly stimulated the eardrums of Su Lin and others. At this time, the fog slowly dissipated, and the true face of the monster was revealed. Name, Vermilion Scorpion. Strength level, B level. Psychic power, 20,000. Skills, Scarlet Poison Sting. Purple LV7, Scorpion Claw, purple LV2, Withered Trees, blue, LV9. Features, the final form of the red scorpion woman. The Scarlet Devil Scorpion was apparently many times larger than the ordinary scarlet scorpion. The two huge claws kept waving as if showing off its strength. The scarlet poisonous stinger behind him was also ready to strike, reminding everyone not to get close. This is the final form of the red scorpion woman. Let me see how you hide this time. The little telegraph seemed to have found an outlet for its anger. After putting down the sword dance, he continued to condense thunder. However, the scarlet scorpion was much slower in reaction at this time, and could only allow the purple thunder's lightning to vent on her body, causing her severe pain. Scarlet Sting. The scarlet scorpion did not sit still and wait for death. She used one of her claws to block Zai Lei's extreme electricity, and the poisonous stinger behind her hit Zai Lei directly in the face. The whole process lasted very shortly, just in a flash. As the ground was pierced by the scarlet scorpion's stinger, a large hole was left. When the smoke cleared, Zai Lei also disappeared. I saw Zai Lei suddenly jumped into the air without knowing when. Skill, Thunder Fury. At this time, Zai Lei had filled every corner of his body with lightning elements, and his entire body flashed with an extreme light. Zai Lei held two giant lightning spears in his hands, and instantly stabbed them towards the scarlet scorpion. The scarlet scorpion was about to use its claws to block it when it saw this, but Jianwu on the side was quick-eyed and quick-handed, and directly struck out with two swords. Nameless Heart Sword Technique. Jian Wu used this move inadvertently. Although the skill level is not high, it is enough to prove its power. In just a moment, the two claws of the Scarlet Scorpion suddenly broke and fell directly to the ground. Seeing that the situation was not good, the Scarlet Scorpion wanted to run away quickly. But how could Su Lin let him get his wish? The restraining chains shot out directly from Su Lin's body. Each chain spreads across every corner of the scorpion's body like a swimming dragon, making it unable to move. I saw the gods descending to earth. Zai Lei held two giant spears in his hands and stabbed directly into the Scarlet Scorpion's body covered with dark shells. The giant spears were like two lightning conductors that pierced the Scarlet Scorpion tightly. In an instant, the two lightning spears and the surrounding restraining chains actually formed a kind of ingenious fit. A high voltage of 10,000 volts suddenly hit. The Scarlet Scorpion then emitted a shining light and became silent. The two women and one man also slowly stabilized their bodies at this time. Su Lin then gathered his magic power and quickly performed the flower language technique. At this time, a layer of emerald halo suddenly appeared on the remains of the Scarlet Scorpion. As the green plants gradually cover its entire body, a flash of light passed by, and the body of the Scarlet Scorpion turned directly into a B-level life seed and flew into Su Lin's hand. At this time, all the monsters in the canyon have been wiped out, leaving only a cave in the distance. The golden finger indicates that there is still a blood yuan pill here. It should be over there. Su Lin thought about it and rushed there directly with the small telegraph machine and Jian Wu. After arriving at the cave, it did not feel cold as expected, but was instead filled with greenhouse gases. Zai Lei emitted electric light to illuminate the room, only to find that it was full of scorpion eggs. The eggs of all sizes are transparent and visible, and you can even see the signs of fetal movement of the Scarlet Scorpion inside through the electric light. Zai Lei on the side felt sick when she saw this. Ever since she turned into a human form, she hated this kind of arthropod creature even more. But she was not as scared as a little girl. When she saw it, she would just curse and kill it with one shot. Just when Zai Lei was about to attack again, Su Lin simply held her head and hit her. This is a great tonic, very good for storing the power of the undead or nourishing the spiritual field. If I hadn't taken action just now, wouldn't I have lost a lot? Zai Lei was still angry, and his eyes were filled with tears. The little telegraph machine is of B-class strength, and although its body has been transformed into a human form, it is still very solid. Besides, he clearly didn't use any strength. Su Lin was speechless and ignored this drama queen. Chapter 230, The Mysterious Old Man, Sword Dance Fate. After a while of playing around, Su Lin selected a few high-quality vermilion scorpion eggs and put them into the storage ring. Afterwards, Su Lin searched again and finally found a pill that was useful for increasing spiritual power inside the wall of the cave. Zai Lei, who was originally crying, suddenly became obedient. He also directly stated the conditions in front of Su Lin. She said something like, "As long as you give me the Yuan Huan Dan, I won't bother with you anymore." After saying that, he began to reach out to take it into his own hand. "Back off, back off." Su Lin directly raised the elixir to the level of his head. Now the height of the little telegraph machine was barely up to his chest, and the way its two little hands were grabbing in the air made Su Lin laugh. The little telegraph machine was furious when it saw that it was humiliated. Su Lin put the Hunyuan pill directly into the storage ring and said, "Although this Yuan Huan Dan is of high quality, it has been left here for so long that it has lost its original spirituality. The essence inside has disappeared over time. You just broke through to B, so it will be useless if you eat it now." The little telegraph machine was skeptical and doubted the authenticity of what Su Lin said. "I have something better for you to eat. Do you want it?" When the little telegraph machine saw Su Lin's serious look, it remembered that he had a good relationship with Xiao Feifei. He thought it would be normal if Xiao Feifei secretly gave some to Su Lin when she was refining the elixir. After saying that, Zai Lei's eyes lit up and he asked Su Lin directly. The small telegraph machine looked in the direction Su Lin pointed. Zai Lei's face turned red with embarrassment, and he attacked Su Lin directly. "You want me again, Wu?" Before Zai Lei could finish her words, Su Lin stuffed a pill that she couldn't see clearly into her hands. Although it doesn't taste like an ordinary elixir, it still has a sweet taste. Eating it can even help restore physical strength and spiritual energy. Zai Lei didn't argue with him after seeing this, but still turned his head away. She still looks like a little female ghost, but she's easy to coax. Su Lin thought to himself. Only Jian Wu, who was standing aside, felt a little disturbed. She recalled what Su Lin had done for his master when he was trapped by an illusion in the random room. Sword dance. Jianwu came back to his senses and saw that Su Lin and the others had almost finished cleaning up. Adhering to the principle of not letting go, Su Lin perfectly squeezed out the surplus value of this random house. After returning home, Su Lin looked at the remaining 3 random rooms. Random room number 2, special room, sword master. After a lifetime of practice, he has mastered the ultimate sword art, but what is he waiting for in his lifetime? Since it is a special room, this sword master should not be dangerous. But Su Lin thought of Jiuchen again. That crazy bald guy, I almost died at his hands before. However, the system did not give a level to the sword master in this room, giving people a very mysterious feeling. Su Lin looked at the small telegraph machine beside him. Go ahead, I won't go, I'm so tired. This lazy stick. Su Lin was really speechless about this small telegraph machine. Forget it, I won't bother with her. According to the system prompt, this time we should go to practice sword skills. I am the only one present who knows a little sword. It would be useless to bring the small telegraph machine. Su Lin waved his hand and ignored Zai Lei, then opened another door. The little telegraph machine originally thought that she would be beaten again, but she didn't expect that Su Lin didn't take her with him this time. Could it be that he has finally learned to feel sorry for me? While Zai Lei was thinking to himself, Su Lin had already stepped into the random room with Jianwu. Since he is a swordsman, he might know some sword skills. Go and have a look. Random room number 2. Tianlun Mountain. What comes into view is an ancient-style building located on a towering peak, surrounded by various mountain ranges. But only this place is like Mount Tai. Looking around, all the surrounding mountains are in sight, as if all the other mountains are small. The bluish-white marble tiles in front of me were neatly laid on the ground, with some scratches on them, which must have shown that they had experienced more than a little wind and frost. Sitting on the steps in front of him was an old man who looked like he was 100 years old. Holding a sword in hand, he sits like a rock. Although the old man was thin, he exuded the aura of a strong man, and ordinary people could not approach him. After a while, as if he had anticipated the arrival of Su Lin and others, the old man spoke slowly. My friend, you are here. The old man's squinting eyes slowly opened, and his eyes met Su Lin and Jianwu in an instant. The moment Su Lin met the old man's eyes, his heart was filled with shock, and it took him a moment to calm down. Judging from his tone, this old man is quite outgoing. He actually knows God Su. The people in the live broadcast room couldn't sit still anymore. God Su has never been here before, so he has never seen this person. Could it be Jiuchen again? They've been blown to ashes. There's no way they'll be resurrected. Su Lin suddenly became alert. The system displays rows of question marks. Apart from the name, I can't see any information about the person in front of me. Could it be that he is an A-level expert? Jiuchen, who was at the top of the B+ class before, was not so far away from being unable to see through him. But the one in front of him made Su Lin break out in a cold sweat. Not only did he know his name, he seemed to be able to predict the future. But the ability of the Golden Finger is even more buggy. It displays the Kendo Master's information completely. Name Kendo Master. Strength level B+. Skill Lingguang Sword Brilliance Purple LV9. Hint, the swordsman has no hostility towards you. He has set up a barrier here. If ordinary people get close to him, their abilities will be suppressed and they will not be able to see him clearly. The swordsman got a treasure before. The treasure indicates that he will meet a destined person many years later. She also has the ultimate sword intention, so the swordsman has been waiting here. Even his disciples and fellow apprentices are puzzled. They all think that the swordsman has been practicing and has become a demon. Until he is gone, the swordsman is still here. Su Lin took a quick look at the content, but when he saw that the Kendo Master had no hostility, he lowered his guard. He signaled to Jianwu, who was standing beside him, and Jianwu also let down his guard. The swordsman slowly stood up, and with a move he stepped into the air. Su Lin also bowed slightly, while Jianwu stood aside like a bamboo or pine tree. The swordsman stroked his white beard, and seemed very satisfied with Su Lin and his group. Has the senior been waiting for me here for a long time? If we are destined to meet, we will meet no matter how far apart we are. The old swordsman spoke slowly, showing his vicissitudes of life. I don't know why you are waiting like this, senior. The Kendo Master thought for a moment and slowly told his story. It is roughly the same as that provided by Goldfinger. The general idea is that he has been searching for the meaning of sword for his whole life, but no one understands him. Until you get a treasure, The treasure will point out that there is a person who can help you understand a little more about the sword. And that person is Su Lin, and the servant beside him, Jianwu. Chapter 231. A friendly exchange with an old man with a strange temperament. Sword dance. The audience in the live broadcast room were also shocked. It seems like something similar has happened before. Yes, I remember now the last time Jianwu was possessed. Why didn't the defender possess someone else, but chose the sword dance? Perhaps Jianwu's body is quite special, and he is a genius in swordsmanship. But she is just a puppet. Su Lin looked at Jianwu slowly. Jianwu was also confused, and didn't understand what he was saying. Seeing the two people looking confused, the kendo master continued to add, I know that although this woman is a puppet, she has a natural sword spirit. The old man looked Jianwu up and down, then continued, but I can vaguely sense that the sword within you is very pure. As soon as the words fell, at this time, Jianwu was also reminded of something by the words of the kendo master. Come to think of it, the defender of morality, Miao Kuehua, had told me the same thing before, and it was almost the same as what the swordsman said. However, Jianwu's birth was very ordinary, and he didn't even have the bloodline advantage of Zile. As the sword dance continued, he was still thinking. For some reason, the old man suddenly laughed. When I stepped onto the mountaintop, I dedicated my life to the sword and understood its mysteries. My fellow disciples may leave the mountain and return to the secular world, but I do not want to leave the mountain. Only this sword is my companion, and I no longer wish to be contaminated by the mundane world. The swordsman waved his right hand, and a sword appeared in his hand, flashing a strange light and shining brightly as if in line with what the swordsman said. After hearing this, Su Lin understood what the swordsman meant. In real-life terms, he is just a sword fanatic. At this time, the kendo master no longer beat around the bush and changed the subject. I wonder if I can let your girlfriend spar with this old man to fulfill this wish. After all, we still have to fight. Su Lin also smiled bitterly in his heart, but this was just a sparring match, and the swordsman was not as obsessed as Juchen. Maybe after this, it will be of greater help to Jianwu. Su Lin looked at Jianwu. Jianwu's face was calm at this moment, but she was also a puppet, so Su Lin didn't think much about it. Jianwu only looked at Su Lin with such eyes that his master immediately acquiesced. Jianwu immediately stepped forward, took out his sword and prepared for battle. Wait a moment. Sword Dance called a halt to the fight. Looked at Su Lin. Both parties had the same idea, and Su Lin took out something from his storage ring. Nameless Sword of Mind. Jianwu recognized it, because he was holding this sword when he was in the Pure Land before. Su Lin handed the sword to Jianwu, then stood behind and waited quietly. Jianwu held the sword. He saw that this sword had never been used again after it was used before. When he took it out of Su Lin's storage ring, it actually made a slight sword sound, and even spiritual energy was faintly seeping out from the sword body. The kendo master looked at the sword. Both its quality and luster were top-notch. Even the faint sound of the sword seemed to have its own consciousness, as if the sword itself was alive. Nice sword. The swordsman secretly applauded, thinking that the sword was very good and didn't pay any more attention to it. I saw the sword dance also took a stance. Little girl, I will lower my strength to the same level as yours. All you have to do is attack. After saying that, the swordsman took a step forward, and the stone slab he had just stepped on was left with a trace of footprints. There was a flash of cold light, and the swordsman used his unique sword technique. Jianwu also reacted immediately and made a defensive gesture. Su Lin watched them sparring from the side, and even saw a faint glow in Jianwu's eyes like a spark. Good. The swordsman turned again, and his wrist condensed a certain amount of spiritual energy and transmitted it to the sword. The swordsman swung his sword, and the sword turned into an afterimage in the air. Jianwu dodged and felt a chill on his head. By the time she reacted, her hair was already on the ground. Live broadcast room. The sword didn't touch Jianwu at all, but a few strands of Jianwu's hair were still broken. If I hadn't dodged the sword dance just now, my head would have been chopped off. Jianwu ignored it, and immediately turned his spiritual energy to launch the extreme memory sword dance. The kendo master saw some phosphorescence around Jianwu's body. Interesting. At first, the kendo master didn't care, but the more he fought, he found that all his moves seemed to be seen through by Jianwu, and Jianwu was able to catch them at the right place every time. Moreover, if he continued like this, he would be in a disadvantageous position. So that's how it is. The kendo master quickly steadied his body, then jumped back, keeping several body lengths away from Jianwu. I saw a green light gradually flashing in the kendo man's eyes. Skill, Lingguang Sword Hua. The swordsman's figure was seen flying towards the sword dancer at a speed that could not be captured by the naked eye. Su Lin was shocked. He understood the swordsman's intention at the moment. After just a few rounds, the swordsman had already figured out the secret of the sword dance moves. At this point, most kendo practitioners have probably figured out that Jianwu's skill is to remember the enemy's attack patterns in a very short time and use sword skills to break and counterattack. So they simply make their own moves impossible to capture. As long as you can't see it, you can't counter it. At this moment, the person in front of Jianwu was no longer the kendo master, but a tornado like thousands of sword blades rushing towards Jianwu. Jianwu had no way to counterattack and could only use his nameless sword to collide with it head-on, then use the force to quickly jump into the air, and then return to the ground to stabilize his body. When she returned to the ground, she found that the arm holding the nameless sword was shaking slightly. At this time, the audience was also secretly worried about the sword dance. Although it was just a competition, it was no less exciting than a life-and-death battle. It seems that the move just now was so terrifying, and the swordsman also suppressed his strength. If he had used his full strength, Jianwu would probably have been defeated by now. At this moment, the nameless sword made a few unwilling sword sounds, as if reminding the sword dance. Jianwu was looking at the nameless mind sword at this moment, as if some kind of resonance had occurred between them. It was unknown whether it was because of the nameless mind sword technique or the residual soul of Miao Kuehua, but the sword seemed to be communicating with her. Jianwu seemed to understand something at this time. The kendo master was very impressed to see Jianwu dodge the previous attack. After all, this strike was the product of 20 years of practice, and even without using all of his strength, the outcome could be decided in a matter of seconds. The kendo master was secretly a little disappointed at this moment. Although the sword dance was pure in sword intent, the moves were gorgeous and decisive, and he could even counterattack quickly. But there is always something missing, and this is not what the kendo practitioner sees. It seems that the predictions of Prism are still inaccurate. In the past few years, it has been my wishful thinking after all. The swordsman once again swung his sword, and this time he didn't want to waste time. Chapter 232, Fulfilling a Wish Unexpected Gain. At this moment, the kendo master was looking at the sword dance in front of him. He gathered his strength once more, and this time he released some of his spiritual power, but he did not cap it, and only raised his strength to around B level. After all, he had no hostility towards her, he just wanted to decide the outcome quickly. Although the counterattack just now was very exciting. But it's just wonderful. Skill, Lingguang Sword Hua Purple. This time, a force far more terrifying than before suddenly struck. If the sword of the kendo master just now had left an afterimage, it would be impossible to see the moves clearly. At this moment, the sword actually distorted the surrounding space. The air around the kendo master seemed to freeze in an instant. He swung the sword again, and an overwhelming gust of wind was instantly stirred up around him. Even Su Lin, who was standing beside him, was stunned for a moment. In just a moment, the power of Lingguang's sword instantly lifted the stone slabs on the field and rushed straight towards Jianwu. But Jianwu stood there motionless, as if he was frightened. The audience in the live broadcast room became more nervous as the kendo master got closer and closer to Jianwu. But Jianwu remained unmoved. She closed her eyes at this moment and stood with the sword raised in one hand without any intention of resisting. The kendo master also saw the sword dance at this moment and thought she had given up. But because the speed of the move was too fast, he had no time to retract it. I thought Jianwu would use the force again, but this time Jianwu was unmoved. Just when it was about to touch Jianwu's face, Buzz tilde. The nameless sword made a sound, and Jianwu's eyes opened instantly. Jianwu turned his head and seemingly avoided the attack, but in fact he dodged it perfectly. Jianwu held the nameless sword of mind, and as the sword techniques emerged in his mind, her whole body was actually emitting a pure white glow. The sword danced, and he stabbed the sword in his hand casually in front of him. Bite! The seemingly random sword of Jianwu actually collided directly with the sword of the swordsman, and the swordsman's Lingguang sword aura also stopped because of this sword. Not only Su Lin was shocked, the kendo master was even more shocked. As the speed of his moves gradually increased, Jianwu was already at a disadvantage. This time, the kendo master's strength even improved to B level, and his sword-swinging speed increased exponentially. Logically speaking, even if Jian Wu used the force to dodge like he did just now, he would not be able to escape unscathed. However, Jian Wu not only did not dodge, but instead confronted the swordsman head-on. During this head-on confrontation, Jian Wu even struck directly at the swordsman's sword swing trajectory. This attack directly interrupted Ling Guang's sword aura. The moment the two swords collided, a powerful force suddenly came from their hands. The Kendo master only felt a shock on his wrist, and his whole body stepped back. After a long while, the Kendo master's body gradually stabilized. The swordsman looked at the slightly bleeding knuckles and slowly turned his gaze towards the sword dance in front of him. The Kendo master was full of doubts at this time. He hadn't even opened his eyes when Jian Wu just danced, but with just one glance, he determined the sword's swinging trajectory. Even the sword swung at high speed already had a huge impact force. Jian Wu's seemingly random sword can quickly interrupt his own skills. You can imagine how strong that force is. Kendo practitioners seek excellence in their abilities, swinging their swords with absolute force to create tremendous effects. From the perspective of Kendo practitioners, although there are many ways to use the sword, there is one thing that cannot be avoided. That is to counter the opponent's move with one move. No matter how you swing the sword, you have to follow the rules just like a formula. But just now, the sword dance made the Kendo master feel a little surprised. Could it be my illusion? The Kendo man thought, but instead of doubting its authenticity, he might as well give it another try. This time, the swordsman still used the Lingguang sword Hua. All other skills can be countered by sword dances, extreme memory sword dance. Moreover, the Kendo master also wanted to take another look at what exactly happened with that move just now. The swordsman roared, and his figure flew towards Jian Wu again in a way that could not be captured by the naked eye. Jian Wu was staring at the Kendo master at this moment, but he only raised his sword slightly. Nameless Heart Sword Technique Purple. This time, Jian Wu coordinated with his puppet's body to release the Nameless Sword Technique. There was a hint of shock in the swordsman's eyes. The sword dance moves she just performed were her original sword styles. Every move gives people a sense of rigorous, transparent, and cold attitude. This time, the sword dance presented an indescribable feeling throughout. It seems more like it reflects a sense of disharmony, a feeling that shouldn't appear on Jian Wu. The sword in Jian Wu's hand seemed to resonate with Jian Wu at this moment. The sword energy, which originally had the same origin, was coupled with the Nameless Sword Technique at this moment. At this moment, Jian Wu felt more and more as if the Defender of Faith had possessed him again. But at this moment, Jian Wu no longer had the sense of a third person, and now she was controlling her own body. With a flash of brilliant light, Jian Wu and Kendo both understood everything. Just now, Jian Wu used the Defender's sword tactics to break the sword aura of the swordsman again. I don't know what's going on. My original B-level strength, no matter how powerful the Nameless Sword Technique is, should not be able to match the swordsman's strength. Jian Wu looked at the light flashing in his hand. Could it be the Nameless Sword of Mind? For some reason, the swordsman suddenly burst into laughter. Good, good. The swordsman took the sword in his hand. May I have your name? Sword dance. The sword rises and the flowers dance wildly. What a great name. Your moves just now seem to be done at will, inadvertently infusing the ultimate spiritual energy to launch a full-strength attack. As if you saw through all my moves. Jian Wu just nodded slightly. The Kendo man wanted to say something, but he didn't know where to start. The Nameless Mind technique is not an ordinary sword technique. It may seem insignificant, but it contains the vastness of the stars and the sea. Just as their swords collided with each other, an unknown feeling suddenly entered the Kendo practitioner's mind. It's like another person communicating with you, but it's just intangible. There was another silence. The swordsman looked at Jian Wu and felt that they had known each other too late, but he could do nothing about it. During the duel with Jian Wu just now, he actually comprehended a hint of other sword intent. Although it was from a different source, it could help him improve secretly. The Kendo master seemed to say something to Jian Wu later, and his words were earnest and sincere, just like a father. Afterwards, the Kendo master gave something to Jian Wu and came to Su Lin again. My dear, please accept this. The Kendo master handed a mirror to Su Lin. This is the prism which I obtained when I was traveling down the mountain. If you don't mind, please accept it. Just as Su Lin was about to thank him, the hand that the Kendo master extended to him gradually became transparent. Su Lin was startled, and when he looked at the swordsman again, his body was like starlight scattering in the air. It was like a ghost who had fulfilled a long, unfulfilled wish, and now had finally become a Buddha. Chapter 233, Precognitive Mirror, Signs of Zai Lei's Parents. When Su Lin and his group returned home, they were still in a daze, as if everything that had just happened was a dream. "What did the swordsman tell you just now?" Su Lin asked. "He taught me the sword technique, and gave me a copy of this as well." Jian Wu said this as he handed the set of scrolls to Su Lin. The system's voice came out. "Skill, Lingguang sword hue a purple. Can study directly, do you accept?" Su Lin took it. He didn't use the sword very often, but why wouldn't he take it when the skill was offered to him? Su Lin clicked confirm without hesitation. At this time, Sophia on the side also brought good news. Due to sufficient materials, all the seeds of life have now been refined into blood essence pills of different qualities. If this is the case, if nothing unexpected happens, I can directly break through Class B. Suddenly, Su Lin seemed to remember something. He took out a mirror from his storage ring. The mirror is copper gold in color, with wisteria patterns around the edges, and has a uniform texture, unlike ordinary ornaments. The main thing is that the swordsman disappeared before he could finish his words. If he didn't have the golden finger, he wouldn't know what the mirror is for. Name Prism. Epic special items. Features, can see the future under certain conditions. Su Lin became interested in an instant. The audience in the live broadcast room was also boiling with excitement. Predicting the future, such a buggy artifact. God Su is worthy of being God Su. He found such an amazing treasure. Can you show me if I can win 5 million in the lottery? No wonder the Kendo master was able to know in advance the arrival of himself and Jianwu. It turns out he had this thing. But the system prompts are not over yet. There is a line of lighter text below. Lost semi-finished product. The prism was once a treasure refined by a famous alchemist. It could predict the future and know everything. However, the alchemist was not capable enough and used up all his life force to refine only half of it. When someone heard about this and found the alchemist, the item had already disappeared. When Su Lin saw this, he was silent for a while, but then he felt a little happy. Semi-finished product? What does that mean? This thing is of epic quality even as a semi-finished product. If it can be refined into a complete product in the future, I wonder how surprising it will be. The upper limit of this thing is huge, much greater than Su Lin and the others know. But the next second, the golden fingers prompt seemed to know what Su Lin was thinking, and directly poured a bucket of cold water on him. Hint, this item is very old and cannot be refined again. Because it is contaminated with the life force of the alchemist, the prism has awakened its spiritual wisdom and will only show what the purest people want to see. Sure enough, it won't be that simple. What does the purest and purest mean? Su Lin thought to himself. The swordsman was able to know about Su Lin, Jianwu, and others in advance. The reason why the prism allowed him to see the future was probably because he only pursued the sword's spirit in his life and was not contaminated by worldly desires. So, does this prism still depend on one's appearance when looking at the future? Kendo masters say that sword dance also has the ultimate sword intent. Maybe sword dance can also see the future. However, Su Lin did not give the sword dance immediately, but first pointed the prism towards his face. But almost 20 minutes passed, and the prism still showed no response. Su Lin felt a little angry, but only for a moment. Jian Wu, who was standing by, was angry when he saw Su Lin looking in the mirror, and was still wondering what was going on with his master. Su Lin finally accepted the reality and handed the prism to Jian Wu. Jian Wu also followed Su Lin's instructions and held the prism facing himself. "How about it?" Jian Wu thought for a while and then said, "This mirror is very beautiful, the texture is smooth." Su Lin quickly interrupted her and then added a few more words. "No, I'm asking what you saw." I saw a mirror in myself." When Su Lin saw Jian Wu answering his questions seriously, he felt angry and amused at the same time. But then I thought it was not right. If Jian Wu saw something, he would definitely tell me. However, if Jian Wu said so, it meant that the prism had no reaction at all. Su Lin still didn't believe it. "Are you sure? You didn't see any scene in the mirror?" "No, master." This was strange. Su Lin was walking slowly in the hall. There were only 2 of them present at the moment, and the sound of his footsteps kept echoing in the room. But Su Lin thought again. Jian Wu is just a puppet, not a human, and this prism may be a little demanding because it is stained with vitality. But if Jian Wu couldn't be seen, then who else among all those present could see it? "What is this?" A crisp sound came into Su Lin's ears. Su Lin turned around and saw the little telegraph machine snatch the prism from Jian Wu's hand and play with it. Su Lin. Su Lin's heart was racing, and he rushed forward in one leap. When the little telegraph machine saw Su Lin rushing towards him, it also dodged. Why are you fighting? It's just a mirror. Jian Wu didn't even take it seriously. Why are you so excited as a grown man? Su Lin was too lazy to talk nonsense with her, and was just about to use violence to enforce the law. I saw that the prism was actually emitting a strange light all over. Zai Lei looked at his face and the mirror in his hand, which gradually distorted and changed into a scene. When Su Lin saw this, he also stopped what he was doing. He was surprised, not because he saw the reaction of the prism, but because he was surprised that the little telegraph machine in front of him, the little beast that kept swearing, was actually a pure and clean person. This made Su Lin feel extremely unfair. He even wondered if the mirror was old and confused and why it was judging so randomly. However, after experiencing many things, big and small, Su Lin's character has been trained to a certain level. He immediately calmed down and stood aside to see how the prism would react. All I saw was the mirror surface of the prism constantly changing, rippling like water waves. Then slowly things returned to calm. Su Lin and Zai Lei both saw the same scene. In the foggy world, Zai Lei was hugging two people, while Su Lin was standing aside with some scars on his body. Who are those two people? Su Lin asked himself in his heart. When Su Lin turned around and was about to ask Zai Lei, he saw that Zai Lei's eyes were actually a little red. Zai Lei couldn't believe the scene before him. No one else knew who those two people were, but only the little telegraph machine itself knew the familiar figure and the unique characteristics of the Thunder Beast. Those two are the people who meet Zai Lei day and night in his dream. Zai Lei no longer dared to believe that he would see these two figures again, and he actually sobbed a little unconsciously. P.S. I can't sleep. I had a splitting headache that night. It still hurts like hell. I took 2 ibuprofen tablets, but they didn't help. I'm dying. Chapter 234, Breakthrough B-Level, Anxious Zai Lei. Su Lin was also confused, but after what happened in the past few days and combined with Zai Lei's previous life experience, he could guess most of it. After the prism showed light for a moment, it returned to calm again. The faint light on the side also dimmed, and it turned into an ordinary mirror. When the light of the prism in front of him disappeared, Zai Lei's eyes gradually became moist. Su Lin quickly put away the prism and put it into his storage ring. Jian Wu, who was standing by, also saw this and imitated what happened between Su Lin and his mistress to comfort the little telegraph machine. Zai Lei, be strong. If you don't cry, the master will give you something delicious. Su Lin, what have you learned? Su Lin thought to himself that he must install a soundproof wall next time. But the priority is not that. Su Lin directly signaled Jian Wu not to speak, and just to comfort him. After all, Su Lin and the puppet present had no similar experience, and they were also busy and confused. But not long after, the little telegraph machine stopped sobbing, and the area around her eyes turned red, which made the audience in the live broadcast room feel distressed. The small telegraph machine was looking at Su Lin, and Su Lin also understood what Zai Lei meant. Then he slowly told the story of the swordsman's experience just now, and how the prism could predict the future. That means your parents must still be alive at this moment, but Su Lin was just thinking about whether he should tell her that the swordsman waited for 10 years after predicting the future before finally waiting for Su Lin and the others, and he didn't know how long it would take this time. But Su Lin also hid the private message at this time, thinking of not telling her the news first. Su Lin expressed it tactfully, and they are in the foggy world. Maybe they are trapped somewhere and that's why they didn't come to see you. It's very euphemistic, but it also hides a bit of reality. If there is a place that can trap 2 B-level ferocious beasts at that time, and keep them trapped for 20 years. Since he is still alive after such a long time, it means that it is not a desperate situation. It may be man-made. Their strength must have increased, at least to B-level strength. But if the 2 B-level warriors cannot escape, then they will either face an extremely strong barrier or a B+ level or above warrior. In other words, even if he knew where Zai Lei's parents were at this moment, if a group of people with a total strength of only B-level went to help them, they would probably never come back. After hearing the consolation, the little telegraph machine slowly calmed down. After all, that thing can show the future, and I will definitely be reunited with my parents in the future. After Zai Lei knew the result, the corners of her mouth unconsciously rose. But at this moment, the only thing she was thinking about was how to rescue her parents from trouble. At this time, Sophia heard the noise and rushed over. After asking about the situation, he handed something to Su Lin. That was the blood essence pill, refined from the Scarlet Woman's life seed. During this period, Sophia was able to refine the blood essence pill more easily. Although the difficulty increased as the quality increased, it did not stump Sophia. Not only did the speed increase, but the quality of the pill also became more stable. Su Lin took the blood essence pill and put it into his storage ring. With these things, I will be able to break through to level B soon. Su Lin thought to himself that even though Zai Lei swore every day and was not likable, she still followed him for a long time, and even as she said, she really had been his thug for a long time. After this breakthrough, Su Lin would like to take Zai Lei to visit the Misty World. In the past few days, the things that can be obtained in the random room are getting less and less, and even the monster level is already B level and above. If you open a random room again, I am afraid that it won't be long before B+, or even a level monsters are refreshed everywhere. After all, the average level of monsters in the Misty World is not high, so even if you encounter them, you can react and defend in time. I can even find Zai Lei's parents. Maybe I can get something from them. After saying that, Su Lin told Sophia about some things and set off to prepare for his retreat. Zai Lei looked at Su Linyuan's back, watched him walk out of the hall, and made a certain decision in his heart. Su Lin sat down and took out the blood essence pills from the storage ring one by one. These are different from the previous ones, refined from C-grade quality. This time, the blood essence pills are of B grade, and there are 8 of them. Su Lin swallowed it directly. As the delicate pill was pumped directly into his mouth, a stronger smell of blood spread in Su Lin's mouth. Su Lin didn't expect that the quality of the blood essence pill would improve, and the taste would become even more difficult to swallow. Su Lin almost vomited, but he still suppressed his nausea. As he took the blood essence pills one by one, a powerful spiritual energy surged out from Su Lin's dantian and reached every corner of his body. Like a group of wild horses that have broken free from their reins. This time the spiritual power was even more overbearing, impacting Su Lin's whole body. Su Lin vaguely felt that his body became stronger under this tempering. Although it hurts a lot, I can bear it. This time, Su Lin could feel more clearly the power gathering in his body, trembling slightly, like a ball of thriving fire. As the violent side was gradually tamed, the spiritual energy slowly flowed here like a stream. Su Lin gradually felt the nourishment of spiritual energy. Ding, your strength level has been upgraded to B. As the system prompt sounded, Su Lin opened his tightly closed eyes. Su Lin slowly exhaled a breath and found that his clothes were all wet with sweat, and there was a faint steam emanating from his body. As the external spiritual energy was gradually absorbed by Su Lin and decreased, she did not feel the sound of the system. I thought I almost didn't succeed in upgrading this time. But fortunately, the result is good. Su Lin felt his tempered body and the endless strength in his body, and the corners of his mouth gradually rose. Just when Su Lin wanted to leave the room and find Ellie and others. When I opened the door, I found a little girl squatting against the wall. Su Lin looked carefully and saw that it was Zai Lei. At this time, she hugged her legs with her hands and buried her little head in her body, looking like she was asleep. Although it was an upgrade from B to B, it still took Su Lin a lot of time. It was still evening when Su Lin came out of the Kendo Master's random room yesterday, but it was almost early morning when he left the room now. Could it be that the little telegraph machine had been waiting for me at the door all night? Su Lin slowed down his movements, slowly closed the door, and slowly moved to Zai Lei's side. Perhaps it was because the Purple Thunder monster had good hearing, or perhaps it was because being on high alert in the foggy world had become a habit for a person. Su Lin hadn't walked a few steps when Zai Lei seemed to have discovered something unusual. He raised his sleepy face and saw the man standing in front of the door. Chapter 235, Return to the Mist World. The little telegraph machine's eyes had not yet fully opened. She heard some noise and looked up at the room Su Lin entered. Zai Lei's nose twitched, and then he rubbed his eyes while speaking. You smell like herbs. Then Zai Lei stood up unsteadily and brushed off the dust on his body. Zai Lei shook his head and became a little more sober. Looking at Su Lin in front of him, whose whole body was wet with sweat, he felt that Su Lin was showing signs of further improvement. When Su Lin saw that she woke up, he didn't say anything. He simply let go and walked straight to his room, leaving Zai Lei at the door. After a while, when Su Lin came out again, he had changed into clean clothes and put on the undead cloak he had obtained in the Pure Land of Bliss. When the little telegraph machine saw Su Lin's outfit, it might have just woken up. Plus, because it didn't sleep well in bed last night, It couldn't figure out what Su Lin was going to do next for a while. I saw Sophia, who was standing behind the door, slowly coming out with some supplies for going out. She even changed out of her usual clothes at home, as if she was ready to go at any time. Su Lin glanced at Sophia, then called out to Jian Wu on the other side. Seeing the man and two women in front of him ready to set off at any time, Zai Lei still stood there in a daze. Zai Lei waited in front of your training room all night yesterday. Ellie said angrily, "People are so worried about you, but you ignore them. How can I take care of her? I'm going to look for her parents soon." Zai Lei raised his head quickly, looking incredulous. The little telegraph machine had always thought that Su Lin and others were going to the random room for training again, until it heard Su Lin's words. "Wow, wow, wow, wow. I love you so much, Tilda." Zai Lei jumped directly onto Su Lin and grabbed his neck, not caring about his feelings at all, but instead using even more force. "Enough, enough." Su Lin directly pulled down the small telegraph machine, then changed his tone and began to imitate Zai Lei's speech. "I just happen to be going to the Misty World, and I'll look for your parents by the way. If we can't find them, we'll just come back." The little telegraph machine was no longer in its usual state, without any sign of sadness. "Zundu fake duo Tilda. Don't worry, when I find my parents, I will definitely speak well of you and will never force you to be my slave. Woo-woo." Seeing that the situation was almost exposed, Su Lin quickly covered Zai Lei's mouth. "Don't tell me." But Su Lin didn't expect that he forgot to close his tongsin ring during his retreat. At this time, Sophia and Ellie, who were present, heard Su Lin's thoughts. They both looked at each other and started talking secretly with tacit understanding. "Don't say anything. Su Lin, did you really attack a loli?" "Ahem." Su Lin also discovered the problem at this time and hurriedly put away the tongsin ring. Zai Lei on the side also laughed when he saw this. Her laughter was very contagious. When Su Lin came to her house, it was the first time he saw Zai Lei laugh so happily. Su Lin was not angry when he saw this, but just became a little more serious. When Sophia came to deliver the pills yesterday, Su Lin was thinking about it secretly. "If the retreat goes well, we can set off tomorrow." So I asked Sophia to arrange the funeral affairs early in the morning and prepare packages of various sizes. This time it probably won't be as easy as entering a random room, and you may not be able to come back for a day or two. Since Su Lin came back from the Pure Land of Bliss last time, he has only stayed in his home for less than a few days. So Ellie and the others came to say goodbye to Su Lin in the morning. They didn't expect to see this side of Su Lin, although they usually understood what he meant. After a while, the three women and one man had almost packed up and were ready to head towards the foggy world. Just as he reached the door, Su Lin suddenly saw his 4B-level flower pets. "Although my abilities are limited, this trip probably won't be an easy one." After thinking for a moment, Su Lin decided to take them with him. The foggy world. They did not delay and encountered monsters of all sizes along the way, but the highest level they encountered was only sea level, a demonic bat. A single shot of purple lightning blew it into a pile of debris. Su Lin also wanted to fly to hurry on, but although the fog in front of him did not get heavier, it was not thinner either enough to block his vision. This place was not empty, and there were weeds and trees on the road, and even the terrain was different. In order to avoid unnecessary danger, Su Lin chose to travel on the ground. Except for himself, almost all members of Su Lin's current team are B-level. Even the flower pets next to them are B-level. Some of the monsters encountered are not really battles, but one-sided massacres. There are no particularly strong monsters. Even Su Lin didn't even look at it. If the previous Su Lin would have stopped at this moment to collect the debris and refine the seed of life. But this time Su Lin was too lazy to even take a look, because he was not qualified at all. "What were you doing at my door this morning?" Su Lin suddenly asked. "I'm worried that you'll die in there, so I'm concerned about you." Zai Lei pouts his cheeks, turns around and kicks a stone nearby. "You wish I could order something good. Who knows, what if you fail to break the mirror and suddenly explode and die? Zyro Feifei will definitely be very sad." "If Zyro Feifei is sad, I won't have the meatballs she made to eat." Su Lin was also speechless for a while, but he was not angry because everyone knew it clearly in their hearts. Zai Lei was standing in front of his door probably because he wanted me to help him find his parents. In the Spirit Beast contract, the Spirit Beast must never disobey the orders of its master. So if I didn't go, she would never leave the house. Besides, even if she could get out, there were still many monsters in the Misty World. Although most of them were small fry, once a stronger monster appeared, Zai Lei would not be able to deal with them all at once. Besides, it's uncertain where I'm going now. Judging from what the small telegraph machine said, Zai Lei's parents were trying to lure the alligator bird away. That means that Zai Lei's parents knew at that time that they could not defeat the Deinonychus. And now they are still in the foggy world. Although they are still alive, maybe the reason they don't go out is not because they are trapped, but because there are more terrifying things. If the Deinonychus crocodile bird was still alive, it would have been at level B plus 20 years ago. After 20 years, it might have been able to break through to level A. Su Lin simply couldn't bear to think about it. P.S. Please vote and reward. Chapter 236. Meet an old friend again, meet in the fog. Su Lin thought about it again. Besides, his current level has just broken through to B if he really encounters a monster around a level. Even if he turns into an undead state, he may only be at a quasi level at best, not even A. According to the world view of this game, the gap between the quasi stage and the stage is quite large. Once you break through level A, your ability and level can be greatly improved. If level B is running, then level A is flying, a pure dimensionality reduction attack. Su Lin thought again of the red-dressed female ghost he had encountered before. Even though he came out of a random room at that time, that weirdness was able to break through the limitations of time and space and affect him. Suddenly, I want to dream about Xiao Hongzhuang again. Sophia suddenly interrupted Su Lin's thoughts. Where do we go next? The place where we took the lightning-struck wood last time. After saying that, Su Lin took out a map from his storage ring. That was the Misty Swamp map that I got in the game before, and I also triggered the Misty Swamp mission to hunt for treasure. Although the destination of the swamp is marked on it, there is also a route marked for part of the surrounding foggy world, and the place where Zai Lei was met before is also shown. Now it can still be used as an ordinary map. What do you mean by taking? You're stealing, that's mine, I found it. The little telegraph machine suddenly pointed at Su Lin with her little hand. Okay, all yours are yours. No matter whether it's yours or not, it's mine now. Su Lin didn't bother with her. After a while, Su Lin and his friends finally arrived at the center of a basin. Zai Lei felt emotional when he saw the place where he had lived for more than 20 years. I was the boss of this place, so whatever comes has to pay protection fees. As a result, the house was robbed by robbers who stole both my belongings and my life. Zai Lei glanced at Su Lin, who was standing beside her. All she had done along the way was complain about Su Lin or think about what she said. Su Lin was really overwhelmed, and he even regretted getting this little telegraph machine. The Yan Country Channel at this time. The live broadcast of this game has become a part of everyone's life. Although various types of short videos still occupy a large mainstream proportion, this game has become a live broadcast watched by almost everyone in Yan Country. If there is a ranking list of anchors, Su Lin will definitely be considered the one with the highest number of fans and likes on various platforms. Originally, everyone was concentrating on seeing how things would develop. A barrage of comments suddenly floated in the air. Does Su Lin's behavior count as trafficking a minor? Others also joined in typing. I don't think so, he's in his 20s. Others are spirit animals, but it's still too early for that thing to reach adulthood. No matter what, legal lowly is the best. Su Lin didn't care about these at this time. Based on the information they know now, Zai Lei's parents should also be in the misty world at this time. But the prism does not give more scenes, so Zai Lei could only recall the general direction her parents went. The little telegraph machine thought for a long time before it looked serious. I forgot. You. Su Lin could no longer suppress the anger in his heart at this time. He used the flower language technique to take out a rattan whip from the palm of his hand. He vented his anger madly on Zai Lei. I told you to forget it, I told you to forget it. Why don't you forget it? You're a child abuser, woo. Sophia just wanted to stop Su Lin, but Su Lin seemed to have gone too far, and the whip accidentally hit Sophia. Sophia shuddered. She suddenly felt a pleasure that was neither painful nor painful. The force of the cane is neither too strong nor too weak, but just enough to cause a slight pain without leaving any scars. Sophia wanted to stop Su Lin again at this time, but his body unconsciously moved closer to Su Lin, as if he wanted Su Lin to be more careless. The result is a sudden change in style. The audience in the live broadcast room were all staring with amazement. The original story of Zai Lei looking for his relatives suddenly turned into Su Lin's training ground. Tilda. Sophia's sudden cry startled the two of them. Sophia's body was trembling slightly. The corners of her mouth couldn't help but rise, and her face looked rosy. Su Lin gritted his teeth when he saw it. He dropped the cane. Woo, woo, woo. The little telegraph machine was still sobbing. Don't pretend I didn't even use any strength. Is your thunder beast skin so fragile? Xylei stood up reluctantly. Then she talked about the situation at that time. She had just begun to gain consciousness when her parents led the Deinonychus away. It has been more than 20 years since then. She can't even remember her own parents' faces, let alone the general direction her parents were going. Although Su Lin understood Xylei at this time, it was equivalent to that all the clues were cut off here. What should I do? If no solution is found, it will be a long time before Xylei sees his parents. Bang! The explosion in the distance immediately attracted the attention of Su Lin and others. All I could hear was the explosions in the distance which did not subside, but were even getting more intense. Su Lin signaled them not to act rashly. He left the 4 flower pets here, and he and a few others went to check out the situation. He slowly slowed down his pace and sneaked up from the basin. The explosion was still some distance away from here. Su Lin walked a few steps northwest from the basin and arrived at the fighting scene. Su Lin found a shelter and looked towards the source of the explosion. Although obscured by fog, one could vaguely see the bright lights of several explosions and a few shadows fighting inside. According to the game rules, there are not only fog enemies in the fog world, but sometimes you may also encounter players from other countries. Su Lin was very clear about this. In the fog, you can vaguely see a human shadow constantly jumping, so the players in front of you are most likely from other countries. The sounds of explosions and fighting gradually faded away. The fog caused by the explosion gradually dissipated, and the field of vision in front of me gradually became wider. He just looked at the person on the other side. That was a player and his partner. The companion was very beautiful, like an elf girl. Behind it there is a pair of beautiful butterfly-like wings, which emit some bright light every time they flap. But for some reason, one of the wings was broken, and the broken corner fell to the ground, and there was wing powder all over the ground. There were wounds of varying sizes on the partner's body. Her face frowned every time she fanned herself. It seemed that the pulling of her muscles on the wounds was causing her a lot of pain. There were 2 standing hairs on her long golden hair. It was Albert's partner, Gaba. Now she seems to have undergone another transformation, with wings growing on her upper body. Isn't that a caterpillar? Xylei sniffed and narrowed his eyes. That's the caterpillar. Chapter 237, The Challenge of the Gargoyle. At this time, the live broadcast room of Yan State was also very lively. The incident just now made many people feel nervous, as the atmosphere in the live broadcast room becomes more and more popular. Just now everyone was still curious about something. Xilei's words shocked everyone, and upon closer inspection, the girl with butterfly wings was really Gaba from before. Although before in the pure land of bliss, Kaba had not yet completely transformed into a human form. But those proud breasts also made the audience in the live broadcast room drool. And now Gaba seems to have completely transformed into a human form. Her charming cute girl style, coupled with butterfly wings, a pair of jade feet floating in the air, and golden hair make everyone's jaw drop. Fuck, it's really Gaba. Albert really found a treasure. I didn't expect that such a disgusting caterpillar would turn into a butterfly girl. Is this true? Actually, I think the caterpillar look was pretty good too. Fuck, you're even more of a heavyweight. What? Su Lin turned his head again and looked at the butterfly girl in front of him. Her aho, goddess, and appearance were really amazing. Name Gaba. Race, slime insect tribe. Grade C+. Psychic power 8,000. Su Lin vaguely remembered that when he saw her before, she was still in half-insect form. But if Gaba is here, then Albert. Sure enough, as Su Lin looked behind Gaba, he also saw Albert's figure. Albert was slumped on the ground. The wounds all over his body were even more shocking than those on Gaba's. Even his right hand was limp, as if it had been completely broken. Buzz. I saw a figure reflected in the fog again. When the smoke dispersed, a silver-gray monster with a hideous face appeared in front of Su Lin. Its eyes were bloodshot, there was not a single hair on its body, and its sharp teeth were dripping with mucus. The bat-like wings behind him looked terrifying, just like the vampires in ancient Europe. Name Gargoyle. Grade B. Psychic power 10,050. Talent Petrified Ghost Skin B. Skills Magic Sound Blue, LV6 Blood Blade Blue, LV5. Albert's face was extremely distorted at this moment. The explosion just now was caused by the self-destructive turtle. He and Gaba were totally helpless. They originally received a mission from the undead skeleton in the Misty World. The goal is to kill a skeleton in each designated corner of the foggy world. But just when the task was completed and the system reward was received, the system popped up again. Do you choose to continue the challenge? Because the skeletons they just challenged were only around D level or C level. With all of their members at C+ level, it was more than enough for them to take on the challenge. So Albert looked at Gaba and chose to continue. But he didn't expect that the remains of the skeletons just killed in the corner would all fly to Albert in an instant. As a burst of black air poured in, the skeletons seemed to merge together. All the skeletons gradually transformed into a combined monster under the cover of the magic circle. The gargoyle awakened at that moment. Albert and Gaba were stunned the moment they saw the gargoyle's message. Those monsters actually merged into a B-level gargoyle right before my eyes. It was like the system was playing a joke on them. After completing the task, Albert and Gaba both looked a little tired. This time there came a more ferocious monster. Hee. The monster stared at Albert with its scarlet eyes. I saw it open its mouth quickly. The devil's sound penetrates my ears. Before Albert and Gaba could cover their ears, the sound came almost at close range. Albert's ears were already ringing, and a hot liquid was gushing out. Although Gaba is a spiritual beast, it is still not much better. The suppression of skills and levels made her mind feel like a paste, uncomfortable and helpless. The gargoyle slowly flapped its wings and attacked Gaba with its bloody mouth. Seeing that something was wrong, Albert subconsciously pushed Gaba away, and both he and Gaba rolled on the ground. The gargoyle saw that he failed to bite, so he hit back and grabbed it. Albert's entire right arm was grasped by the gargoyle, and he could not move. The gargoyle's skin was unusually tough. It didn't even seem like it was using much strength, but Albert's arm had already been twisted into various shapes in the gargoyle's palm like cotton. Albert screamed suddenly, and the gargoyle seemed to enjoy this scream. The corners of its mouth curled up, and it squeezed Albert's arm even harder when it heard the beautiful voice. The palm of the gargoyle's hand gradually turned red, and Albert felt his right hand gradually losing sensation. As the blood flowed, he felt his right hand gradually became like ice. Ugh! Followed by a loud shout. When Gaba saw Albert screaming and looking miserable, he quickly stood up and ran towards the gargoyle. She activated her skill, wrapping many spider silks around the gargoyle to block his movements. Then a mouthful of poisonous mucus was spat onto the gargoyle's hand, emitting bursts of white smoke. The gargoyle also loosened its grip, as if it felt the pain. Gaba was also quick-witted and quickly grabbed Albert and held him behind him. But not long after, as the poisonous mucus evaporated, there was no trace of the gargoyle's arm. It was as if nothing had ever happened. The gargoyle fluttered his eerie bat-like wings. It forms a sharp contrast with Gaba's butterfly wings. All the spider silk that Gaba had just used to block the gargoyle's movements were torn apart at once. The gargoyle drank it as if it were water, without any sign of effort. He was just a decoration, and no one could stop him. Gaba was shocked. She didn't know what to do at this moment. She turned and looked at Albert on the side. She could only run now. With her current strength and Albert's current strength, she was no match for the gargoyle. The gargoyle tilted its head. I saw Gaba turned around. He flew directly towards Albert behind him and dragged Albert's body up with both hands. Although the fog is not thick at this time, we cannot fly easily. But Gaba had no choice at this time. She could only climb quickly and try to get higher than all the obstacles. But Gaba forgot that gargoyles also have wings. What's more, he was carrying Albert with him, so his speed was not fast at all. The whistling sound of the wind was heard in his ears, but the gargoyle's flying speed did not slow down at all. He did not consider the terrain at all and rushed straight towards Gaba and the others. Gaba had no choice but to land quickly and fly close to the ground, trying to avoid some bushes or boulders that would interfere with the gargoyle's speed. But the gargoyle seemed to be incapable of feeling pain, like stone or tree. In his eyes, it was like nothing. Chapter 238, Helping and Trying to Conquer. So the two are equivalent to a forced buff. One is a gain buff, and the other is naturally a debuff. The gap between the two is getting bigger and bigger. Plus, the strength of the gargoyle behind him is only B. How can this be good? It's also because the two of them are married, and the partner is unwilling to give up. Otherwise, given the previous situation in Siam, they would have run away long ago. You want me to help you carry it? I can't help you carry it. However, it is precisely because of the two of them that they are in such a state. Faced with the gargoyle's repeated pursuit from behind, the two were almost exhausted. Now even if you try to escape forward, it will be useless. The devil's sound penetrates my ears. seeing these two guys still, had the mind to run forward. There was a hint of cruelty in the gargoyle's eyes, and it laughed silently and strangely. Followed by another howl from the gargoyle. Severe tinnitus mixed with hot liquid not only gushed out from the ears, but also flowed out from the nasal cavities and mouths of both of them in an instant. Gaba looked around, his face almost panicked to the extreme. You have to know that this damn place is nothing but bushes and broken stones, so hiding is impossible. The guy behind was chasing even more fiercely. Almost in the next moment, blood is drawn, accompanied by another roar from the gargoyle. A strong suction force instantly came from the front. Blood continued to flow from his body toward the gargoyle in front. Feeling the pain around them, at this moment, the two of them were almost in despair. At this time, the gargoyle had already leaped in front of Gaba and reached out to grab her. There was a ferocious look on the ugly face. Gaga laughed strangely, obviously preparing to treat the people in front of him as food. When the sound was heard, the surrounding leaves rustled. Then a dark aura gradually spread from the gargoyle. Under the suppression of the gargoyle in front of him, the air around him was filled with intense violence and cruelty. It's over. At this moment, the two of them closed their eyes in panic, fear, and despair instantly covering their hearts. It's completely over now. However, almost in the next moment, there was a helpless sigh. Immediately afterwards, Su Lin's figure followed as fast as lightning. Light pattern wings, shelter of light, accompanied by two rays of light, they instantly flew towards Gaba. A ray of light stopped the gargoyle's fierce attack on the spot. There was a loud bang, and the gargoyle, who was already a little confused, knocked his teeth. Before he could react, imprisonment shackles, wave slash, thunder ball, the lightning, mixed with an invisible wave of power, instantly rushed towards the direction of the gargoyle. Almost at the same time, the gargoyle roared ferociously in another direction. The invisible force imprisoned him on the spot and made him unable to move. Gaba looked confused. She asked puzzledly, "Are we rescued?" Gaba was a little confused. You know, in the foggy world, there aren't many beings that can deal with this kind of B-level monster. Unless, at this moment, Albert on the side instantly had a look of shock and joy on his face. He looked into the depths of the fog in disbelief, his eyes filled with unimaginable joy. Is it Su Lin? It must be Su Lin, otherwise no one else would have the ability to help them. After all, in this foggy world, it is extremely difficult for ordinary people to survive. It is impossible for ordinary players in the foggy world to have such strength. Sure enough, a somewhat dissatisfied voice followed. Su Lin's figure gradually appeared in front of the two people. "Hey, how did you get into trouble with something like this? This gargoyle always likes dead bodies, and they are very hard. With your strength, you two are still fighting these things." Before he could finish his words, Su Lin suppressed the small telegraph machine beside him. Then he fixed his eyes on the gargoyle. After touching his chin, his expression became more curious. "Quite interesting. The surface of this gargoyle is mainly made of hard skin, and it looks like it is extremely resistant to blows. The stone appearance adds a bit of cold and hard aura like steel to him. Moreover, according to legend, gargoyles have always been good at guarding the house. If I could beat him..." A hint of thought flashed in Su Lin's eyes. "What do you think? Is it possible to subdue the gargoyle?" He seemed to be asking the small telegraph machine, Zidian, beside him. Listening to Su Lin's words, Zai Dian on the side also touched his head in confusion. "Conquer the gargoyle. These fools have never heard of this. Who can tame them? After all, these guys only know how to suck blood and kill people." But Zai Dian shook his head. With Su Lin's ability, he might be able to subdue these things. Sure enough, it happened almost in the next moment. Su Lin looked at the thing in front of him calmly, and then a vast amount of power burst out instantly. As if I didn't see it. Just when Su Lin was talking to Albert and others, the gargoyle's steps moved slowly, and it was obvious that he wanted to escape. It seems that this guy is not as irreconcilable as Zai Dian said. When facing a strong person, I will choose to give in. Don't underestimate the gap between Su Lin and this gargoyle. One is B level and the other is B. But if you really count it, then the difference is like heaven and earth. Then he seemed to see Su Lin looking at him. The gargoyle in front of him was obviously panicking. He quickly reached behind and ran away. But how could his speed compare to Su Lin? Su Lin didn't chase after it, but looked at the gargoyle's back. Then he smiled and touched Zai Dian's head beside him. There was a hint of confidence and disdain in his eyes. He raised his hand calmly. "How dare you run? I haven't even said anything yet and you're running." Imprisonment shackles. Thunder is violent. In an instant, The shackles, which were glowing slightly, flew directly to the feet of the gargoyle. At the same time, the gargoyle showed a surging and overbearing power, and an arrogant look when facing Albert and others. Completely disappeared. The body suddenly stopped moving. The panic and the trembling body, as if wanting to escape, completely emerged at this moment. He froze in place and dared not move an inch, or rather he was imprisoned and could not move at all. However, Su Lin's strength was a little stronger. The surging thunder swept down with its domineering brilliance. Lightning, like a punishment from heaven, with a purple glow, appeared before the eyes of Albert and the others. Chapter 239. Useless Efforts, Gargoyle Territory. Su Lin had a smile on his face and gently stroked Zai Lei's head beside him. Then he ignored the small telegraph machine and kept speaking like a god or a devil. Watching Su Lin raise his hand and step, a flash of lightning appeared. With just one order, the enemy was imprisoned and unable to move, looking extremely terrifying. At this moment, Albert and Gabber on the other side had eyes full of envy. God bless them, it would be great if they could have such great strength. I thought I was just coming out to take on a mission, but who would have thought I would run into a big boss? If Su Lin hadn't taken action this time, I'm afraid they would both have died here. Under the reflection of lightning, cracks began to appear on the gargoyle's skin, and sounds of wailing and pain continued to be heard. At the same time, a gem with a gray glow was reflected inside the cracked stone. Looking at the gargoyle in front of him, he saw that it had been almost crippled. Su Lin looked ahead like a gentleman, and then, "Surrender or not, if you surrender you will be spared death and become my slave. If you don't surrender you will die." He knew that the guy in front of him could understand. After all, he showed such fear and desire to escape when facing me just now. If you say this guy is irrational, you are kidding. Now he gave this guy a choice: either kneel down and be a dog for Su Lin, or send him to hell, turn him into ashes. He believed that this thing would make the right choice. I was a little worried that this thing in front of me couldn't understand what I was saying. Su Lin raised his hand and followed. Zai Lei, who was beside him, leaped over, grabbed the gargoyle's neck and pulled hard. Roar Tilda. The gargoyle howled in pain. Woo woo. After enduring the attack of Zai Lei, the guy finally couldn't bear it anymore and knelt on the ground, begging in a low voice. However, after being hit twice, the guy still kept his head down. Seeing this gargoyle surrender, at this moment, Zai Lei turned his head and looked in the direction of Su Lin with some excitement. This blockhead actually surrendered. As Zai Lei said this, he raised his head, ready to accept the compliment, but the next moment, Su Lin brought her to his side in an instant, and after another restraint, he froze the gargoyle in front of him on the spot. This guy actually dared to attack Zai Lei while he was looking up at him. What a courage! I'll beat you into pieces today, and you'll be awesome. Ha, a mere trifle, Su Lin sneered. After all, I recruited you because I value your talent, but how dare you treat my reputation as mud and step on it? Don't blame me for being rude. 2 consecutive terrifying lightning bolts imprisoned the gargoyle in front on the spot. Following closely, that guy rushed left and right on the spot, facing the confinement of layers of thunder and lightning all around. The gargoyle was unwilling, but it was of no use, and finally sat on the ground dejectedly. The invisible force was completely broken on the spot, and he looked at Su Lin in panic. His expression suddenly became awkward, and just when he was feeling embarrassed, he fell to his knees and kowtowed repeatedly. It looks like he's ready to surrender. Almost in the next second, Su Lin looked coldly at the thing in front of him. Direct lightning instantly struck in its direction. You don't even want to surrender at this time? Who do you really think you are? Accompanied by thunder, the thing was instantly blown into pieces. A black round bead popped out from the debris. At this moment, Albert and Gabba's men came to Su Lin cautiously, with shock in their eyes. Especially Albert. His eyes were almost wide open as he stared at Su Lin and said happily, "Thank you, Mr. Su. If it weren't for you, I would be finished this time." As he spoke, the expression on Albert's face gradually turned into the fear he had just seen. To be honest, if Su Lin hadn't saved me, Gabba and I would have died here today. The 2 men hurriedly searched their bodies, remembering that they would be given a certain reward after completing the task. This can be regarded as the repayment the 2 can give to Su Lin. After all, they have to gain something from the help from the big boss. Looking at Albert in front of him, flipping through the pages hurriedly, Su Lin couldn't help but rub his head. Then he shook his head helplessly. All right, all right." He waved his hand and said half of his words. Then I saw something that looked like a book being sent from Albert. Special Gargoyle Refining Method Plan. The rest have not been opened yet. You need to go to the gargoyle territory. Looking at the thing in front of him, Su Lin couldn't help but be stunned, and then a hint of curiosity appeared on his face. Quite interesting. Is this thing used to control gargoyles? To be honest, Su Lin really wants to replace the guards in his territory now. After all, this gargoyle is quite powerful, and the fighting power he showed just now was also very ferocious. If you can, it would be best to replace it. But where exactly is this gargoyle territory? Su Lin narrowed his eyes, a thoughtful look on his face, and at this moment. By the way, Mr. Su, Gaba, and I accidentally discovered that gargoyles seem to be made up of some low-level monsters. I don't know if it will work for you. At this time, Albert told all their previous discoveries. After listening to what Albert said, Su Lin became even more curious. By the way, is this thing automatically synthesized or artificially created? Is it possible to create another gargoyle in the foggy world? Or is there something special about the birth of these things? Its characteristics are similar to those of the little monsters encountered before. Take me with you to see it. Listening to Su Lin's words, Albert naturally nodded repeatedly. There was a hint of joy in his eyes again. After all, it couldn't be better to have a big boss leading them. Then he took the initiative to lead Su Lin in the direction where the gargoyle was chasing them. Not long after that, they came to a wooded area, which seemed a bit dark. It seems out of tune with the surrounding swamp environment, and the atmosphere in the woods is even more gloomy. It was so cold that it made people feel creepy all over. The skeletons and small monsters around were all at level C or even D. Looking at the things around, Su Lin looked around curiously. There seemed to be no gargoyles in this place. Did he have to beat those things to make them merge into one? Su Lin frowned and looked around. Then he gently pulled out a little strength and began to attack the monsters around him. Chapter 240, Keep Going, Stone Spider. I saw a ball of lightning rising up in an instant, and then smashing towards the position of one of the little monsters. The spots of light exploded one after another on the spot, immediately following the moment when the light appeared. This force exploded instantly, and all the skeletons and monsters in front were swallowed up. The lightning destroyed them almost instantly, and most of the monsters disappeared instantly. Before Su Lin could open his mouth to speak, Zai Lei beside him looked ahead in confusion. This is obviously not the same thing as those gargoyles. Could it be that these two Albert guys are deliberately talking nonsense to save their lives? Zai Lei looked at Albert and others beside him with suspicion. And at this moment, Albert continued to speak. Mr. Su, you also know that I absolutely have no intention of deceiving you. When we came here just now, we were fighting those skeletons here, and they suddenly turned into... Before he could finish his words, Su Lin felt a strange dark wave suddenly emerge in front of him. Then he narrowed his eyes slightly, stared at the distance, and a cold curve appeared at the corner of his mouth. It seems my guess was not wrong. You're not wrong. The things around us can indeed change. Those things just now weren't dead. Su Lin's voice echoed everywhere. At the same time, Zai Lei looked up and down in front of him, and then became even more confused. Not dead. With that electric shock just now, even if you were a sea-level monster, you would have died on the spot. What's more, in Zai Lei's perception, it was already considered powerful if there were a few sea among the monsters in front of him. How could he not be dead? Zai Lei looked at Su Lin curiously, but it was almost the next one. Squeak, squeak. Accompanied by a sharp and piercing sound, dozens of tentacles danced wildly and rushed towards Su Lin. This thing is extremely fast, hundreds of times faster than the gargoyles we encountered before. Call out. Looking at these things in front of him, Su Lin moved very quickly. There was a hint of disdain at the corner of his mouth. What the hell do you have to dare to attack me? Just relying on these little tricks. The small telegraph machine reacted quickly, with lightning moving swiftly. Lightning chain. I saw the lightning turned into chains, and instantly began to connect to the tentacles in front. As he pulled forward, he turned the tentacles that were attacking him into charcoal one by one. At the same time, Albert next to him suddenly said, "Be careful. My benefactor, those things are not dead yet." Gaba also looked at Su Lin with a worried look. Looking at the things in front of him, Su Lin's expression became even more disdainful. It's a joke that he would be afraid of these things. They can't even stand a chance of turning over in front of him. Thunder is violent. If you don't make a move, it's already a powerful move once you make it. The moment the skill was used, a surging thundercloud appeared in front of him. In an instant, dozens of tentacles that were rushing towards him were cut off and nailed to the ground. And at the same time, after the thing was chopped to death, it turned into a pool of blood. A strange scene also appeared in front of Su Lin. Misty blood tree branches. Looking at these things in front of me, a gleam of light flashed in Su Lin's eyes. What is this? Is this the key to creating those gargoyles? Su Lin thought in his heart, while taking slow steps and continuing to walk forward. Some of the monsters we encountered along the way did not merge after waiting for a long time, while others suddenly exploded before merging. Only one successfully evolved into a gargoyle, but was still killed by Su Lin after Su Lin failed to persuade him to surrender. To be honest, Su Lin does not have much defensive force now, and B is almost the top. For example, the previous Red Demon, Flower Princess, and Giant. Most of his subordinates are at C level or even C+. It's not easy to come across a character that can evolve into a gargoyle and is at level B if I can capture all these gargoyles. It will be a rare benefit for me. I don't know whether the gargoyle just now is more unique or... Su Lin thought to himself and continued to lead everyone to walk in the jungle. And just over 3 hours after they entered the forest, Su Lin suddenly felt a vibration in the space. Then it seemed as if some force began to attempt to drive them away. But how could Su Lin be driven away so easily? I haven't even found the lair of those gargoyles. I won't leave even if you ask me to. I'm here to recruit my subordinates. Do you want me to leave without any benefits? A smile appeared on Su Lin's lips, and lightning continued to attack the monsters that intended to drive them out. I don't know how much time passed. The atmosphere around him became thicker and thicker, and also became increasingly low and cold. At the same time, accompanied by a sharp cry, boom, a violent sound suddenly came from a distance. Then they saw countless pieces of debris flying out from that direction, attacking Su Lin and the others directly. As rocks flew through the air and created waves, a strange green thing moved from a distance. What the hell? Su Lin frowned and looked into the distance, and when the thing in front of him came in front of him, his expression suddenly became a little strange. This thing is kind of disgusting. I have to say, the things this place creates are TND, so ugly. For example, the thing in front. It looks like a spider, but both sides of its body are covered with dense suction cups. Moreover, there were green bubbles coming out of its head, which made people feel a little nauseous. The twisted and weird appearance was revealed in an instant, and at the same time, it added a different kind of ugliness to his whole body. For some reason, after seeing the green appearance, Su Lin felt a chill. Name, Alienated Stone Spider. Grade, C+. Psychic Power, 8,000. Talent, Petrified Ghost Skin, C+. Skills, Venom Blue, LV5, Petrification. The thing in front of me looks like a giant petrified spider. Its entire body is covered with a hard shell, and there are 2 rows of blade-shaped spikes growing on its back. While Su Lin was observing, the giant spider seemed to have noticed something and suddenly opened its mouth. Roar tilde tilde tilde. All sorts of weird roaring noises came out of its mouth. However, he did not attack Su Lin, but turned to Albert beside him. As if he knew who was stronger and who was weaker, he made a gurgling sound. A ball of green viscous liquid instantly spurted out and swept towards Albert. Chapter 241, Disgusting Gargoyle Territory. Albert was obviously a little confused at this moment. After all, I didn't do anything here, but I was suddenly attacked. Looking at that disgusting thing, a feeling of nausea instantly spread from my heart. His face changed drastically, and he jumped quickly to avoid being sprayed. Sizzle tilde tilde. But even so, Albert's sleeves were still half stained with the mucus, and a sour and smelly smell immediately filled the air. At the same time, a strange dark green color began to spread around his body. Looking at the condition of Albert in front of him, Gabber on the other side showed a look of panic on his face. He wanted to help Albert, but didn't know what to do. They could only look at Su Lin with pitiful eyes, praying that he could help them. My benefactor tilde tilde. Looking at Gabba's pitiful eyes, Su Lin nodded slightly and moved instantly. At that moment, he appeared next to Albert, waved his arms, and directly cleared away the sticky green liquid. A little bit of light, without even directly using the skills. But he turned his head and looked at the huge stone spider in front of him with an extremely strange expression. It's okay that you said the gargoyle before was a bit special, but there's actually a stone spider here. What the hell is this? Su Lin narrowed his eyes slightly. A hint of curiosity emerged on his face, and at this moment, the stone spider in front also discovered Su Lin, removing the venom from Albert. Obviously, he roared silently on the spot. He roared and rushed directly towards Su Lin. At the same time, seeing that the thing in front of him actually wanted to attack him, Su Lin's face seemed a little dissatisfied. Not only did I not kill you, but you actually wanted to kill me. Where did you get the courage to do that? Besides, Su Lin just wanted to study it carefully. What made this thing so special? The look in his eyes became increasingly stern, and then he clenched his hands in front of him. The lightning formed a big hand directly on the spot, and at the same time, the skills in his mind began to be triggered instantly as Su Lin silently recited. Lightning chain. One lightning bolt after another formed a chain, instantly stopping the guy in front. Immediately afterwards, Su Lin looked at the struggling spider monster in front of him calmly, as if he was an overlord emerging from the thunder. There was full of disdain in his eyes, and he stared coldly for a while. C+, it's useless. Although I don't know why you appeared among the gargoyles, but how dare you sneak attack me when you're not a B rank? Court death. As the words fell, a cold light suddenly burst out from the front, and lightning tore up on the spot. Sizzle. Accompanied by the sound of stone tearing, a huge stone spider leg fell to the ground. Ouch! The giant spider couldn't help but wail in pain. At the same time, Albert and others were stunned as they looked at the giant spider rolling around on the ground in front of them. They stared at the stone spider in confusion, not saying a word for a long time. After all, this thing was about to chop them to death on the spot. If Albert and Gaba had encountered this spider, they would probably be dead now. Fortunately, Su Lin is here, otherwise no one would be able to deal with it. My benefactor, you are so awesome. The two looked at Su Lin with admiration, while Su Lin's expression remained calm. He shook his hands lightly forward. Immediately following, invisible lightning instantly bound the head of the giant spider in front. The moment the lightning chain was used again, the spider's head was ripped off before it could even react, and it turned into waste stone on the spot. Looking at Su Lin's appearance, Zai Dian on the side couldn't help but exclaimed, and then clapped his hands repeatedly. That's amazing. Hearing this rare compliment from the telegraph, Su Lin smiled and rubbed her head. There are more powerful ones, but this stone spider is quite interesting. From the direction he came from, it should be over there. Su Lin then led his men and continued to move deeper into the cave. I don't know how long I walked, but the fog around me became thicker and thicker. Even in the gloomy fog, what emanates is a chill that makes people feel cold in their hearts. Feeling the low fog and the chaotic and dark atmosphere emerging from the fog. At this moment, Su Lin's expression became more and more strange. There seemed to be some force around them that was deliberately pulling these weapons forward to block their way. Don't you think you are being too cautious? If you don't block anything, maybe Su Lin is not in the mood to investigate. But you insisted on blocking this road, which instantly gave Su Lin some more thoughts in his mind. Now that it's blocked, I have to take a good look. Thinking of this, Su Lin raised one hand again and moved forward. As the breath burst out instantly, a hint of disdain also spread across his face. If others were faced with the chaos and fog around them, there would be nothing they could do. Maybe you will have to stumble around in the fog for a long time before you can leave. But who is he, Su Lin? With just these few tricks, you still want to trap me here. You really look down on me too much. You know, he is a man with an affinity for light magic. It is most appropriate to use light against the fog. Arrow of light. Invisible light suddenly burst out from his hands, and the light that emerged instantly began to illuminate all directions like daylight. In the light rising into the sky, Albert and others beside him didn't even have time to blink. Immediately afterwards, a strange voice appeared in everyone's ears. Congratulations on arriving at the Gargoyle territory. The Lord's quest is being triggered. Find the manufacturing point of the gargoyle, master the origin of gargoyle manufacturing, and use your ability to synthesize gargoyles. The voices in their ears seemed to indicate that they had arrived at the right place. As the voice emerged, the fog in front was completely dispelled by the light in Su Lin's hand. The surroundings were dark, and under the shining light, the area around them could only be maintained within 20 meters. At the same time, everyone saw the gate surrounded by darkness, which was now a bit dilapidated and broken. They seemed to have arrived at an ancient castle deep in the misty forest. It's so dark, so unpleasant. It looks like this place was blown up by lightning. The little telegraph machine once again displayed its telegraph operator's instincts. Listen to what comes out of the other person's mouth. Su Lin tapped her head gently and then spoke. Stop talking nonsense here and follow me. Chapter 242. Keep going, strange female demon. Listening to Su Lin's words, feeling the pain in my head, the little telegraph machine rolled its eyes in dissatisfaction, but still said nothing. After all, it's better to listen to Su Lin at this time. When he looked around, A flash of lightning would appear in his eyes from time to time. It seemed as if everything around him would be blown to pieces in the next second. At the same time, Albert on the other side looked around for a long time, with a bit of nervousness and caution on his face. Everything in this castle seemed so terrifying and extremely panic-stricken, especially accompanied by a faint cold light rising from the ancient castle in front, and the cold wind blowing on the neck. There is also a sense of horror created by the ancient and dilapidated atmosphere. Albert's people all looked a little cautious. "Mr. Su, there won't be any ghosts here, right?" Although Albert has been in the foggy world for so long, the deepest fear of ghosts in people's hearts is still lingering in his heart. Listening to Albert's words, Su Lin shook his head and then spoke. "Don't be afraid, this place should be." Before he could finish his words, a creaking sound suddenly came from the castle in front. The weird atmosphere that followed cast a shadow over people's hearts. Looking at Albert and the others who were afraid to move forward, Su Lin shook his head helplessly. The arrow of light shot out from his hand again. This time, the light almost replaced the fog in front and illuminated the area within dozens of meters around. But this time, the light made Su Lin see something wrong in the dark fog. There seemed to be some kind of dark aura in the castle, which gradually retreated backwards. The twisted and cold atmosphere makes people feel inexplicably uncomfortable. Just when Su Lin was about to use lightning or light to grab the power in front of him. The next second, the darkness suddenly disappeared, as if it had disappeared into nothingness along with the breath of the ancient castle. "What?" Su Lin stopped his hand suddenly and then frowned again. "What's going on?" After staring ahead for a long time, a look of surprise flashed across his eyes. That's right, the dark aura just now seemed like an illusion and never appeared again. If Su Lin hadn't felt that nothing had happened, he would have almost thought it was an hallucination caused by overexerting himself. A hint of curiosity appeared on his face, and then Su Lin laughed. "Interesting, you still want to run away from me." He held the hands of Zai Lei and others beside him, and continued to move forward. When you come to the castle, everything around you seems quaint but with a different kind of novelty. If you must put it simply, it's as if all the brand new equipment around here has never been used by anyone. "This place looks so new, has no one been here before?" Albert on the side spoke for Su Lin. Su Lin raised his eyebrows and continued walking forward. The carpet on the floor, the door curtains hanging around, and the red candles. "Wrong." He frowned, and at this moment, the minions of darkness instantly came towards Su Lin and the others. "What?" Albert panicked for a moment and hurriedly blocked the forces around him and then attacked, intent on keeping those forces at bay. However, Albert and Gaba are only of sea-level strength. How can they possibly compete with the elusive darkness around them? One attack failed, two attacks failed. On the contrary, the dark aura took away a lot of vitality from their bodies and became increasingly strong. Feeling the dark power around them and the attack on themselves, Gaba and Albert's faces suddenly became more panicked. They don't quite understand why this happened. Albert wanted to ask Su Lin to help him, but Mr. Su Lin has helped me so much. It would be rude to continue asking him for help. So Albert and Gaba beside him just dodged left and right on the spot, and they looked particularly pitiful. Just as Albert's face was filled with panic, Su Lin on the other side became more agile in his movements. He was waiting, although he didn't know what the power around him was like. But the dark aura was escaping very quickly, and Su Lin could hardly grasp the power behind it. So with his eyes shining, he gradually observed the surrounding power. Su Lin's eyes seemed even sharper. "If you don't move, you're already moving, like thunder and lightning." Just as Gaba and the other two were gradually losing the upper hand. As the forces around him became increasingly violent, Su Lin suddenly took action. And this move is a fatal move. Thunder is violent. Strong electric shield. The surging thunder fog formed a thundercloud in front and struck in all directions directly. At the same time, a strong electric shield was put on everyone around. Su Lin heard bursts of thunder that bypassed the people around him and rushed directly towards the black power deep in the darkness. A broken and distorted breath, as well as a hideous and terrifying scream, came from my ears. In the dark castle, some kind of existence was seriously injured by Su Lin's attack. Looking at the power in the dark castle, Su Lin's expression became even more profound at this moment. "I got you." There was a bit of icy smile and pride on his face. At this moment, Su Lin was like a god who had caught his prey. Then the whole person rushed towards the direction of the scream like the god of thunder. "Puff tilde," accompanied by an invisible dragging sound in the depths of the darkness. Then everyone saw a ghostly banshee screaming and howling. Name, Winged Banshee. Grade, C+. Psychic power, 8,000. Talent, Incarnation of Darkness, C+. Skills, Dark Companion, Blue, LV6. Special Manufacturing, Blue, LV6. Looking at the winged banshee in front of him who was screaming and trying to escape from the attack, Su Lin squinted his eyes and looked at her carefully. The thing in front of me is different from the ones I encountered before. If the gargoyles encountered before were all a group of ghosts and monsters, the thing in front of me looked like a harpy with wings. His whole body was filled with ferocity, and the fangs in his mouth were spread out in all directions, giving people a twisted and slightly disgusting feeling. Looking at the thing in front of him, Su Lin narrowed his eyes and looked at her carefully. What does special manufacturing mean? What does it represent? Things seem to be getting more and more interesting. Chapter 243 Man-Made, Who Made It? Su Lin's face was full of curiosity, and he stared deeply for a while. Suddenly, I noticed something wrong with the thing in front of me. Yes, he had a hint of metallic sheen to him. Unlike the rough appearance of the previous gargoyles, the thing in front of you would appear if you didn't look closely. You can't even tell it's man-made. This thing was actually man-made. Su Lin's eyes became even more curious, and he stared at it for a long time again. Then he used a ray of lightning in his hand to stab the banshee in front of him. What followed was one scream and wailing after another. Hearing the voice beside them, the people nearby were a little confused. They didn't quite understand why Su Lin suddenly took action against this thing, especially Albert, even though the thing in front of them had just attacked them very powerfully. But killing is better than torture. A hint of curiosity appeared on Albert's face, but before he could say anything, he heard Su Lin continue. Interesting, it's really interesting. Su Lin stared at the thing in front of him for a while and suddenly continued speaking. Break it for me. Lightning chain. As the words fell, the banshee in front was blasted to pieces by Su Lin on the spot. The lightning was as bright as a bone-chilling radiance, and it directly killed the banshee in front of it completely. Looking at the miserable death of the banshee, the people around her were a little dazed and stunned. They didn't quite understand why Su Lin did this, but the next moment, as the banshee was chopped into pieces by Su Lin on the spot, several people finally reacted. This banshee, is she dead? Su Lin grabbed a round bead from the banshee's body, which was similar to the one he used to kill the gargoyles before. Immediately afterwards, Su Lin was heard continuing to speak. Sure enough, this thing is dead. Hearing Su Lin's words, Albert and others beside him were all shocked and looked at Su Lin in disbelief. Especially Albert's eyes were filled with admiration. God bless him, he never thought that this thing could be dead. And since these banshees and gargoyles were all manufactured, who made these things? Just as Albert was thinking in his heart, Su Lin seemed to have thought of something. Immediately afterwards, he turned his head, and invisible lightning instantly enveloped the entire castle. Thunder is violent. Thunder horn impact. At the same time, lightning bolts began to envelope the entire castle, waiting for Su Lin's order to blow the castle to pieces. He no longer had the heart to play this game of hide and seek with the people here. Either that guy comes out, or he doesn't have to come out and die. Anyway, with this huge amount of thunder and lightning, no matter what is here, even if you are a god, you will die without a burial place. And at the moment when lightning appeared, why are you here, my distinguished guests? Why are you attacking my castle? We should just pretend we have never met each other. A somewhat weak and slightly charming voice came from the front. Then, when everyone looked in the direction where the sound came from, a panel appeared. Name, Viscount Ariel of the Blood Clan. Grade B. Psychic power, 16,000. Talent, transformed into Blood Mist B. Skills, Life Drain, purple LV6, Blood Magic, purple LV6. Ariel in front of him gave people a unique feeling, with a hint of temptation on her beautiful face. Her fair skin makes her look even more attractive. However, the nauseating smell of blood that came from her body from time to time instantly reduced her charming aura by half. Seeing Ariel like this, Albert and others on the side suddenly felt suppressed and inexplicably a little flustered. But when he saw Su Lin, Albert felt himself standing up again. Su Lin just stood behind them, with a ripple of emotion in his calm eyes. With a hint of disdain in his eyes, he walked lightly to Ariel. Vicious Blood Clan. After listening to Su Lin's words, Ariel laughed and then continued to speak. Since all the distinguished guests have come, why not join me? Before he could finish his words, Su Lin spoke directly and domineeringly. I don't have that much time to play hide and seek with you. I just ask you one thing, and you agree to yes or no. As he spoke, Su Lin raised his hand, then looked calmly at the guy in front of him and continued speaking. Gargoyle essence handed over. Surrender now. That thing just now was unconscious. I think you are conscious. The overbearing tone was filled with coldness. To be honest, Su Lin didn't want to say anything else to the guy in front of him. Ariel is indeed beautiful, but beating a boss is beating a boss. I still have to look for the parents of the little telegraph machine. So how can I have the energy to talk nonsense with this guy in front of me? Do you really think he has plenty of time? Listening to Su Lin's words and looking at the guy in front of him who was so direct, Ariel on the other side was stunned. To be honest, if I hadn't watched with my own eyes the gargoyle that I had created with so much difficulty disappear in Su Lin's hands, and he died so miserably, she should have killed Su Lin long ago. Ariel forced herself to suppress her emotions and was about to continue speaking, but the next second, while hugging Zai Lei beside him, Su Lin was operating the lightning chain. Arrow of light, thunder and light instantly burst out in front of him, and Su Lin's aura also exploded directly at this moment. He looked at the vampire Viscount in front of him with unparalleled dominance. Either bring the stuff here or die. Lang Ran's words were full of pride. Listening to Su Lin's words, Zai Lei couldn't help but gently hold Su Lin's hand. Zai Lei certainly knew why Su Lin did this. If it weren't for the fact that he had to find his parents, Su Lin might have still been willing to flirt here, but now. He turned and looked at the guy in front of him. Zai Lei also followed Su Lin and looked in the direction of the guy in front of them with dissatisfaction. Didn't you hear what Su Lin said? You bastard who stinks of blood, hand over the gargoyle essence. To be honest, Ariel on the other side looked a little dark and gloomy. Ariel never thought that one day she would be forced into such a situation. It was really unbelievable for her. The most crucial thing is that the gap between himself and Su Lin is really too big. Chapter 244, either take it out or die. Besides Su Lin, there are Zai Lei and others on his side. And the bee that he had just created, the gargoyle he had taken in, was killed by Su Lin. I don't know how useful the rest can be if you don't tell me. They are all sea level or even C. If they really fight in front of Su Lin, I'm afraid there won't be a single hair left. The C+ level gargoyle that I just sent out took me a long time to create in the past few days. What should I do? For the first time, Ariel felt difficult and panicked. No, those gargoyles were made with my own hard work. She looked at Su Lin and the others fiercely, and then quickly prepared to turn into a bat and escape. However, seeing Ariel in such a state, how could Su Lin let her run away? He used a lightning chain to pull down the bat she had transformed into on the spot. This was followed by a burst of electrotherapy. A crackling sound, accompanied by a wailing roar of pain, came from my ears. About half a quarter of an hour later, Ariel had already turned into charcoal. However, as she spewed out black mist, her expression still held a hint of ferocity and malice. Although Ariel was indeed a little scared, but she was asked to give the method of making gargoyles to Su Lin, and the others just like that. Give it or not. Just when Ariel's emotions had not yet completely calmed down, Su Lin simply raised his wrist. Immediately afterwards, the terrifying force pressed down directly forward. At this moment, the lightning completely covered everything around her, and Ariel's face changed drastically. An inexplicable shock and panic broke out at this moment. Immediately afterwards, Ariel stared at Su Lin with her eyes wide open, and her expression suddenly became a little conflicted again. If he really fights Su Lin, he will definitely lose. But if he surrenders without fighting, it will also disgrace the reputation of his own vampire clan. Can't this guy give me some face? I just hit you, and you want to hit me again. Ariel's face was full of fear. She was scared by Su Lin's electric therapy just now. If I continue to electrocute you, I'm afraid I'll be in trouble. However, after struggling for a moment, she couldn't help but scream when she saw the little purple lightning appearing again. I know you are the Thunder Beast, right? As he spoke, Ariel continued to speak hurriedly. There are not many Thunder Beasts now. I have seen 2 before. If you let me go, I will take you to find them. Ariel said, becoming more cautious. After carefully stepping over Su Lin's lightning, he looked at him with pity in his eyes. Listening to Ariel's words, Su Lin couldn't help but narrow his eyes. Has he seen the Thunder Beast? Are they the parents of the little telegraph machine? And there happened to be 2 of them. Su Lin thought about it in his heart, but his expression remained unchanged. Light rises from behind, and lightning falls from the front. Your chance has come. Su Lin would never give the initiative to others, especially a vampire he had never seen before. Besides, who knows if this vampire in front of him will have any other tricks? What if we lead them into a trap? What if we attack them? Su Lin only trusts himself and his partner. As for the rest of the strangers, they might show a little sympathy, but most of them will not have the slightest emotion at all. Imprisonment shackles. An invisible force emerged as shackles, instantly imprisoning Ariel in front of him. Then Su Lin looked at the guy in front of him calmly. With a cold look in his calm yet deep eyes, he spoke. I ask you questions and you answer them. Hearing Su Lin's words, Baron Ariel in front of him was filled with fear. He looked at Su Lin with a panicked look on his face and nodded repeatedly. The man in front of me simply doesn't play by the rules. If other vampires had seen me before, they would all be very flattering. Who doesn't wish to be worshipped as an ancestor? But this guy just happened to produce a flash of lightning as soon as he started to attack, as if he would be unhappy if he didn't kill himself. Don't you know that vampires fear these powers the most? It really is killing me. His face was filled with fear, and he almost couldn't help trembling, but almost in the next moment. Su Lin said in a calm voice, Let me ask you, where were you? Where did you meet her parents? Su Lin chose to ask and answer questions quickly. In the extremely fast question and answer session, the guy in front of him couldn't find any possibility of quibbling. Listening to Su Lin's words, Ariel in front of him couldn't help but be stunned for a moment, and then quickly spoke. I seem to remember it was in a cave nearby, in a strange valley. I had just arrived here at that time, and I wanted to go out and get to know the powerful lords around here. After Ariel's introduction, she began to describe what happened when she first arrived here. The castle had not been built at that time, and she had seen a B+ level crocodile bird fighting with 2 thunder beasts in the wilderness. The battle at that time was truly filled with clouds, rain, wind, and thunder. The 2 thunder beasts fought with all their might. However, they were nearly crushed to death on the spot by the B+ level alligator bird. Fortunately, these 2 were capable and hid in a nearby valley. At that time, she had seen from afar the Deinonychus crocodile bird staying outside the valley. It can be said that the guy was so terrifying at that time. That kind of strength still makes people feel terrified. Listen to what Ariel is saying at this moment. Su Lin couldn't help but narrow his eyes. Quite interesting. Ariel actually met Zai Lei's parents. Following Ariel's words, Zai Lei's eyes almost widened at this moment. 2 eyes sparkled as they looked at Ariel in front of them. Are you telling the truth or not? You're not deliberately deceiving us. Hearing this, Su Lin subconsciously intensified the thunder around him. Under the threat of lightning, Ariel almost withered. That's right, it's really going to dry up. The effect of the thunder baking, coupled with the tingling feeling brought about by being so close, Ariel was completely stunned at this moment. Especially now that I am trapped in the same place, I have to bear this force. It makes Ariel's whole body roasted extra sour and refreshing. She shook her head in panic and continued speaking. No, I dare say that everything I said is true. There can't be any falsehood in this, otherwise you can kill me. Ariel is really a coward. After all, he just wants to survive and doesn't want to provoke the monster in front of him. Chapter 245. Surrender and send out on the spot. Who knows if they will kill themselves? And listening to Ariel's words, after Zai Lei's 2 threats, Su Lin finally confirmed that the guy in front of him did not lie to them. After thinking for a moment, he continued. Then let me ask you one more thing. I still say the same thing. If you surrender and hand over the method of making gargoyles, I can spare your life. How about voting? Faced with the heavy pressure and threats from Su Lin, Ariel really wanted to surrender at this moment, and suddenly she felt the world was wide open. After all, if he insisted on holding on, it seemed there was nothing he could do except being chopped into pieces by these people on the spot. Under Su Lin's strong threat, Ariel lowered her proud head at this time. She really didn't want to endure the electric therapy just now. At the same time, listening to Ariel's words, Su Lin finally showed a smile. As long as you are obedient, you will get the benefits. As a hint of coldness flashed in his calm eyes, he raised his hand. Next, follow us and see where the Deinonychus crocodile bird is. If you dare to lie to us, don't blame me for taking action. As Su Lin spoke, a hint of coldness flashed in his eyes, and his calm words seemed to show that he didn't take the guy in front of him seriously at all. And listening to his words, Ariel in front of him nodded repeatedly. Not daring to be negligent in the slightest, he spoke directly. I want the gargoyle to take you there right now, Ariel said as she had an idea. Soon after, one by one, gargoyles appeared in the surrounding castle. Some of them turned into stone sculptures, and some turned into half-statues hanging on the castle. Now, after being revived, they shook off the rubble on their bodies and stood straight in front of Ariel. On the other side, Ariel looked at the gargoyles in front of her in silence and took a step back cautiously. Looking in the direction of Su Lin, he instantly wanted to use the gargoyle to temporarily fight back and escape. After all, although I can't beat you, I have so many gargoyles here as bodyguards, so I can always outrun you. Ariel doesn't want to be Su Lin's subordinate and only be able to serve these gargoyles in the future. Who is she? She is a noble vampire. Ariel's heart was filled with pride. This time, she only needed to use these gargoyles to trap Su Lin and the others. I can take this opportunity to escape, and when I become stronger, I will come back to cause trouble for Su Lin. She swore that she would make Su Lin taste the lightning attacks that she had suffered today, and make him die without a burial place. This guy kept thinking in his mind. His expression even became more ferocious as he smiled. However, Su Lin shot out another chain of lightning, crossing over the surrounding gargoyles. Ariel was imprisoned on the spot with one move. This is followed by another round of electrotherapy. After all, since this vampire is unwilling to be his subordinate, Su Lin can only use hard tactics. When he returns this time, he will make this guy in front of him submit to him. After Su Lin's training, a while passed. As Ariel spewed out a black mist from her mouth, she fell to her knees with a thud. He looked at Su Lin with a lifeless face, then fell to his knees and kowtowed repeatedly. I am willing to surrender, please let me go. Listening to Ariel's words, Su Lin looked at her with disdain. To be honest, Ariel still looked like a queen just now. But after this kind of training, this guy is obviously scared. You deserve it, who told you to offend me? Besides, Su Lin doesn't have many people under his command. You finally come across a being that can create a bee gargoyle, but would it let you run away? You should know that among the flower pets under Su Lin, there are only 4 bee. As for wives, most of them need to be pampered. He can't let his wife have sex with those ugly girls. Therefore, Hua Chang and the legions under his command must be updated. This time, Ariel just happened to run into the gun barrel. If she didn't do anything, she would die. If Ariel hadn't offended Albert and the others, would she have encountered these things? Looking at Ariel in front of him, Su Lin waved his hand. Since you've surrendered, then do your job well for me. If you do a good job, I will let you go. Give me the method for making a gargoyle. Su Lin's eyes were indifferent. The feeling that emerged from those irresistible eyes made Ariel feel a chill in her heart. To be honest, Su Lin's meaning is very clear. If you don't give me the thing today and let me ask you again, you will die. Looking at the murderous intent and coldness in Su Lin's eyes, Ariel sighed. Immediately after a stream of blood spurted out of his mouth, a voice came into Su Lin's ears. Congratulations to Yan Countries, Su Lin, for successfully obtaining the gargoyle manufacturing. Congratulations. The acquisition of new soldiers caused the broadcast sound to ring 3 times in a row. Along with the voice in his ear, Su Lin smiled at this moment and then raised his eyes to look at Ariel. You did a great job. I won't treat you unfairly in the future. As he spoke, Su Lin turned his head to look in the direction of Albert and the others and continued speaking. Let's say goodbye now. The place we are going to next is not suitable for you to stay. You can just chop some skulls here. After all, Su Lin and the others are going to rescue Zai Lei's parents next. Who knew how awesome that Deinonychus crocodile bird was? How much has his strength improved over such a long period of time? If the improvement is dramatic, we have to be careful. And hearing Su Lin's words, Albert and the other man looked at each other and nodded. Thank you very much, Mr. Su. If I have the chance in the future, I will definitely treat you to a drink to thank you for saving my life. Albert's face was full of joy as he spoke, while Su Lin continued after laughing. Okay, let's go. As he spoke, he came to the gargoyle. After looking at Ariel, he saw her take action. Immediately afterwards, the gargoyles carried Su Lin and the others on their backs and ran forward at an extremely fast speed. Looking at Su Lin, Zile, Ariel, and others leaving quickly. At this moment, Albert's face was almost full of envy. How great it would be if I had such powerful strength as Mr. Su Lin. Even if I meet Ariel today, I can still escape safely. His heart suddenly became much more excited and agitated, and he turned his head to look at Gaba beside him. Let's go, keep moving forward. P.S. Please vote ~. Chapter 246. Huge monster B+ grade crocodile bird. Along with the roar of the gargoyles gradually running, bursts of thunder-like sounds rang in everyone's ears. Then the gargoyle ran away quickly and gradually disappeared from the sight of several people. Looking at the gargoyle in front of me that is quickly disappearing, at this moment, Albert and the other man began to deal with the matters in the castle. At the same time, at this moment, in the live broadcast room of Yan Country, They were looking at Albert and Gaba, who were separated from everyone. Some people couldn't help but start a discussion. Albert and his friends are so pitiful. Now they have become loners. Yes, there is no country's support behind them, and they have to worry about encountering enemies in the foggy world from time to time. Just encountering a small character almost forced them into this state. It would be great if Godsu could recruit them. Then we wouldn't have to worry about Albert or Gaba. Oh, Godsu probably doesn't have the energy to do that now. He still has to go and find the Deinonychus for that little telegraph machine. Everyone was discussing in the live broadcast room. While on the other side, Albert and others were praying sincerely that Su Lin and the others could return safely. At the same time, while hoping that Su Lin and the others would not encounter any problems, he looked ahead. At the same time, while Albert and others were praying for Su Lin and others, Su Lin and others on the other side also followed Ariel and headed towards a valley that seemed deep and quiet. This valley looks particularly ancient, and the lush greenery surrounding it makes it seem particularly profound. Looking at everything ahead at this moment, everyone could even see the splashing water from the waterfall on the top of the mountain, and the subsequent splashes of water tumbling towards the ground. Looking at everything in front of them, a hint of curiosity appeared on Su Lin and the others' faces at this moment. Is this the Jedi that Ariel mentioned? The place looks quite ordinary. How could two thunder beasts be hidden in such a place? Su Lin and others all focused their eyes on Ariel. At the same time, as if she had sensed that there was something wrong with the looks of Su Lin and others towards her, Ariel hurriedly spoke. Don't be fooled by this appearance, but there is actually a secret place hidden deep in the dark. This place is called Juyunjian. Immediately following Ariel's introduction, the sound of running water began to sound in front of them. Ariel carefully stopped the gargoyles around her and spoke to Su Lin and the others. That old monster is very powerful. He has been stationed here before. It was only by accident that I discovered that this is not just an ordinary place, but it is very likely a secret place. But I can't be sure. After all, when I first came here, that big thing was guarding here, Ariel said as she looked ahead, a thoughtful look in her eyes as she continued to speak. If you don't believe me, just take a look first. As Ariel looked forward, the power in her body began to move rapidly, and then a huge sea-level gargoyle ran slowly towards the front. The gargoyle was not moving very fast, and against the backdrop of the surrounding fog, it looked like a monster about to emerge from the fog. While picking herbs near the waterfall, he seemed to be looking around worriedly. This seems very easy. Is there really an enemy of Zai Lei in this place? Or is this all made up by Ariel? Looking at the appearance of the gargoyle, everyone couldn't help but reveal a look of confusion on their faces. Before they could say anything, suddenly, the ground in front suddenly began to tremble, and then under the gaze of everyone, a series of rumbling sounds continued to emerge from my ears. Amid the earthquake-like explosion beside their ears, a look of panic appeared on the faces of Zai Lei and others at this moment. Especially Zai Lei. His past memories also emerged in front of him at the same time as the current situation. She suddenly felt an uncomfortable feeling in her heart, as if something was forcibly suppressing it. I was in the same situation at the beginning, looking at the huge terror bird. That guy is really here. Before Zai Lei could think of anything, a sharp cry suddenly came from his ear. Immediately afterwards, a squeaking sound was heard again from both sides. The sound that rang out quickly seemed to appear beside his ear, and suddenly made Zai Lei feel an unimaginable weird feeling. Then he really saw the guy he had been thinking about day and night, and even had engraved in his heart. A huge head suddenly swept up from where the waterfall was in front. Then it chirped twice on the spot. The huge monster headed towards the direction where the gargoyle was, and swallowed it up on the spot. Looking at the ferocious monster in front of him, it was devouring the gargoyle. The next second, Zai Lei's whole body began to tremble. At the same time, the little telegraph machine actually showed a desire to rush up and have a good fight with that guy. Looking at the small telegraph machine, Su Lin hurriedly began to comfort the little guy, then looked ahead with sharp eyes. Don't be afraid, I'm still here, what are you afraid of? Besides, this thing can't deal with us. With me here, he's doomed. Looking at the huge alligator bird in front of him, Su Lin could faintly feel that the other party's aura was still at B+. Although I don't know why this big thing hasn't changed much in strength after so many years. But it was precisely because of his strength that Su Lin had a chance to take advantage of. If this thing reaches a level, Su Lin might have to spend countless efforts. We also need to carefully investigate whether Zai Lei's parents are safe now. But since this guy is still Class B, I have to plan carefully. After all, this guy is still at the stage where he can fight, but may not be defeated. Thinking of this, a thoughtful look appeared in Su Lin's eyes. And at the same time, Zai Lei on the other side took a careful look at the thing in front of him. He has now reached the peak of B+, and I don't know when he will take another step forward. You probably haven't found your parents yet, otherwise you wouldn't have such limited strength. Ariel on the side suddenly spoke up. Listening to Ariel's words, Su Lin nodded. Just as Ariel said, next we have to take a closer look to find out where Zai Lei's parents are. Chapter 247. I don't know what to name the chapter, so I'll just wish everyone a happy Mid-Autumn festival. Listening to Ariel's words, Zai Lei no longer cared about his disgust towards him. His eyes widened as he spoke with excitement, joy, and delight in his eyes. You said my parents are still here. Zai Lei almost jumped for joy. However, he suddenly stopped talking halfway through, and his expression looked somewhat innocent. There were even tears in his eyes. In those pitiful eyes, there was a hint of joy and excitement as well as an inexplicable shock. Listening to the words from the small telegraph machine beside him, before Su Lin had time to speak, he heard Sophia speak. It's not impossible, but according to Ariel, this alligator bird has been guarding here all this time, so I'm afraid it has some purpose. I'm afraid there's something unusual here. Just as Ariel said, this is most likely a secret place. Listening to what Sophia said, Su Lin nodded and couldn't help but think about it. Even if it was a secret place, how should they go in and deal with it? If they followed what Sophia said, how could they bypass the Deinonychus that had been guarding outside the secret realm and go in to find Zai Lei and her parents? After all, that big thing is not a vegetarian. Everyone can see that the guy is extraordinary. If they really fight, no one may be his match. B+, although Su Lin had the confidence to deal with it, if the thing in front of him took the opportunity to successfully break through that would be really fatal. As he thought about it, Su Lin's expression was still silent. While one hand was gently tapping, his expression took on a deep and different tone. He raised his eyes and looked forward, seeing the Deinonychus that had torn the gargoyle into pieces. Why don't we go explore again? Su Lin said this, and then his eyes fell on Ariel beside him. Listening to Su Lin's words, Ariel was nodding secretly, waiting for Su Lin's next words. Who would have thought that this guy's eyes would fall directly on her? Feeling the gaze on her body, Ariel was really confused at this moment. What does this have to do with her? Could it be? Ariel followed the direction Su Lin's gaze indicated and saw the gargoyles under her command. You don't mean to... Before Ariel could continue speaking, Su Lin pointed at the gargoyles and started speaking. You are now my subordinate, so these slaves of yours are naturally my slaves too. How about this, let these things go? What Su Lin meant was that he wanted Ariel to use these gargoyles to explore the way, and at the same time create a path for them. After hearing Su Lin's words, Ariel on the other side was stunned for a moment and looked at Su Lin with almost wide eyes. His face was filled with disbelief and unbelievable expressions. His eyes widened as he spoke. I spent a long time to make so many gargoyles. Are you just going to give them away like this? Some of these gargoyles have been following me for decades. Looking at Ariel, who seemed to have her tail stepped on, Su Lin raised his eyebrows and continued speaking. Follow me in the future. Are you still afraid of not having gargoyles to use? As long as you are good at making gargoyles, I will never let you down. Whether it's 10 or 100, I can compensate you. As Su Lin said this, he started to paint a big picture for Ariel beside him with a smile on his face. There was a hint of coldness in his eyes, and the color in his pupils instantly stunned the guy next to him at this moment. Ariel looked at Su Lin with a frown, as if she was thinking about what he said. Looking at that confident face and the indifference in his eyes, after being stunned for a while, she couldn't help but narrow her eyes slightly. If Su Lin could really help him increase the number of gargoyles under his command, it might not be impossible. Ariel nodded dazedly, and then began to send away all the gargoyles around her according to Su Lin's idea. Following Ariel's actions at this moment, everyone in the live broadcast room was almost laughing to death. They looked at Su Lin in disbelief, watching him fooling around with Ariel in the live broadcast room. Some people couldn't help but become suspicious. Why do I feel like he is deliberately fooling this guy? I feel the same way, just like what our parents always say to us. Give him some pocket money, and he will compensate us more later. I always feel that Ariel is a little silly, just giving the things to God Su like that. That's not the case. This also proves that God Su is awesome enough. There was a burst of praise for Su Lin in the live broadcast room, and at the same time, with the praises of the crowd, Most of the gargoyles separated and attacked the Deinonychus crocodile bird in a mighty force. Under Ariel's command, they even launched a charge. The Deinonychus crocodile bird on the other side also looked a little dissatisfied. It stared ahead with wide eyes, a look of surprise and anger on its face. To be honest, he thought nothing was wrong just now. Occasionally, one or two gargoyles would run over to his side. After swallowing that guy just now, he wanted to have a good rest, but who could have imagined the result? He had just closed his eyes and waited for a moment when several gargoyles rushed towards him. The direct impact caused the Deinonychus nose to start to feel sore. I don't know what's going on with these gargoyles in front of me. How dare they run in front of me so boldly and unscrupulously? The anger in his eyes gradually spread, and he almost widened his eyes. A burst of anger accompanied by anger in his mouth rushed straight forward. What do you want to do? You are so bold as to come here and act so recklessly. Is it the vampire nearby? I didn't bother you, but you guys are bothering me. He lowered his head, and his eyes, like huge lanterns, stared at the thing in front of him. At the same time, when he was unscrupulously releasing the majesty of the B-plus beast in his body, one of the gargoyles hit him right in the eye socket. This blow stunned him directly, and anger gradually spread on his face, especially the breath that emerged from the place where a black mark appeared on the face after being hit. P.S. Dear friends, Happy Mid-Autumn Festival, ~. Chapter 248, How